AzCFL.
And welcome to AzCFL Game of the Week, Week 10, as we've arrived to the 7 o'clock slot for the Phoenix Outlaws versus the Arizona Spartans. I'm your host, Jesse Burke, alongside J.R. Warner. And, JR, it's crazy to think that we've made it to the final game of the regular season.
We are in the final game of the regular season, and boy, is it going to be a good one between the Outlaws and Spartans. These two teams traditionally have always had great battles. I believe that the Spartans are edging them out, made sure to let us know that the Outlaws have only beat them once in history. So Spartans very confident coming into today's game. Outlaws, as usual, always a confident football team, ready to stick to their guns, stick to their game plan, and get it done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having a chance to talk to both teams and getting an idea and kind of the tempo and the energy of both sides. Right. Not going to say any names specifically, but one team is kind of playing conservative and wanting to kind of stay safe and go into next week healthy and starting a new season, where another team is also looking to, enter the playoffs downhill running and secure that number 3 spot, as that's going to decide who they play in the first game of the playoffs. Right. And with that being said, it's exciting to see the two sides unravel tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's always an interesting point when you're at this point in the season where both of these two teams have clinched a playoff spot. Both of them know they are dancing next week. And both these teams get no mistake about it. They both want to win tonight. But it's going to be playing the game of not showing all your cards right before the playoffs, as well as trying to have a competitive football game and get a W tonight. In talking with the Spartans coaches before the game, they wanted to make it clear that they plan on doing the same things that they've kind of been doing over the last 3 weeks, mixing up their play calling offensively, utilizing Scotty in an RPO-type style offense, and just basically continuing to keep defenses on their toes. As far as the Outlaws offense, same old game with the Outlaws. Take whatever the defense gives. If you're going to give up the run, they're going to run the ball 20, 30 times. If you're going to give up the pass, well, let's believe that their quarterback is prepared to air the ball out. So both of these football teams do want to get a dub, but they will definitely be cautious of how much they show going into the playoffs next week. And
speaking of the quarterback play, we have a new face at the helm tonight. Jay Hector is getting the start for the Outlaws. Mm-hmm. Kind of speaking to that conservation and playing it safe. They know that Aguilera is their playoff guy, and they want to preserve any type of injury or any type of hiccups tonight, whereas on the Spartan side of things, it's all systems go. Everything we've seen, Scotty's got the go, and I've been told he's the quarterback going forward, rightfully earned. And with that, like I said, they're kind of sticking to the script, whereas one team tonight is playing a little bit of shuffling, if they will.
Yeah, Spartans, they think they got their guy going forward to the playoffs, and they just want to continue to stay fine-tuned and continue to do what they do. Outlaws, on the other hand, they're the type of football team that they know what they expect out of all of each other. They know that they have clinched their playoff berth. They know that they're going to be a very tough team to beat in the playoffs, and they just simply don't want to show all their cards, but they do expect to win tonight, and they believe that their quarterback can still get it done.
Definitely, and like you said, both teams secured their playoff spot. Two in different manners. I mean, obviously, throughout the history of the AzCFL, and I guess the semi-pro circuit, the Outlaws are well known, right? And they're always tend to be in the mix of things towards the end of the season. Whereas the Spartans, they had a lot of shakiness throughout this year. They had a quarterback go down with a broken hand. They had a lot of changing out with personnel at quarterback. They had some defensive maneuvering. They had some suspensions they went through, some injuries, and they're storming in with the same intensity and same, record as the Outlaws.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, these are, again, two prideful football teams, two of the best teams in the state of Arizona, which is why we're talking about them on a Week 10 game of the week as two teams that have already punched their ticket to the playoffs. At the end of the day, nobody wants to lose. These two teams are going to come out here and they're going to bang. They're going to get after it. But from a coaching standpoint, again, don't reveal the cards. Save something for next week, because next week is when everything counts.
Definitely, and a little under 2 minutes to go as both teams huddle up and kind of go over the game plan one last time before tonight's matchup. But, yeah, crazy to think that we've, like I said, entered and approached the final week of the regular season. I mean, we speak on last year how that season was pulled from under us, and we've already doubled that season and then some, and now we're looking into a very bright playoff picture with two teams set to give us a little sample tonight.
Yeah, a small sample of what's to come. I mean, there's still some very good football teams in the state of Arizona. You know, the Rebels are right there at the top, still undefeated on the season. Silverbacks as well. I believe they're playing right now, also undefeated on the season. So there's some really good football teams here in the state of Arizona. And, man, the playoffs are going to be great. It's going to be – it's really anybody's game. Although, like I said, the Rebels are at the top. As I said last week, they still haven't quite – blown anybody out per se. It's always been a touchdown win, 2 touchdowns win. But at the end of the day, they figured out a way to get it done, and they hold the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. But come playoff time, it's 0-0, anybody's ball game.
And that's the beauty of the playoffs. I always talk about postseasons and new seasons.
Yep.
So, you know, we'll wonder if one of these teams carries this game's momentum into it or if they'll use it as a short memory. But we'll find out shortly here for Week 10, Game of the Week, Arizona Spartans versus the Phoenix Outlaws. Super excited as the Outlaws are rocking their baby blue bottoms, black jerseys with the baby blue buckets, a.k.a. their helmets. And then the Spartans rocking their white on whites with the gold trim. As I always say, we're in store for a drippy matchup.
Yeah. You know, Spartans more of your flashy type team. They do a lot of RPO style now that they've got Scotty in at quarterback. They utilize his ability to run as well as pass very well. Now he's now in his 4th full start at quarterback. So Aaron Wilkins, offensive coordinator for the Spartans, not wanting to lose any momentum, wanting to keep him in the game, wanting to continue to get a rhythm. And the Spartans offensively lately have been clicking. They've been able to move the ball up and down the field almost at will against anyone. The matter is turnovers, fumbling the ball, possible interceptions here and there. You know, simple mistakes that can definitely be cleaned up. On the Outlaw end, and they've been Tony had a real good game last week for them. Was able to complete some really key passes. Outlaws got out to a huge lead there with 2 minutes left in the first half. Just started to really put it on the Phantom. And the Outlaws are carrying great momentum to this football game. Very confident group of guys. And it's going to be a great football game to watch.
Yeah, definitely excited as the last time we've seen the Spartans, I believe, under the lights, they came away with a W as well.
Uh-huh.
So both these teams looking to continue their success under the lights.
Yeah.
And like I said, continue their momentum into the playoffs. But tonight, sit back, relax. We got a high-action impact game. You know, both teams looking for moral victories and statistical victories. But,
yes.
you know, J.R. Warner, Jesse Burke, excited to give it to you, as always, AzCFL Week 10 regular season. Excited to cap it off, man. We had a full slate of football today, like always. We'll get you some scores. Some teams, like you said, continuing their undefeated ways. Yes. Some teams continuing their, you know, chalking it up as the season has ended for them, and they're, you know, picking up the pieces and heading into the offseason.
Yeah, you know, and for those teams that, you know, are not playing next week, you know, to go ahead, take a look at the last 10 weeks of football. You know, sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror, you know, figure it out. What it is that you individually could have done better. It's easy to point your hand at another player, easy to point your finger at coaches. But sometimes you got to look in the mirror and figure out how you can bring more of a positive impact to your football team next season. And then I promise you this, if you do that, it'll rub off on the rest of the guys, and you guys will be pretty successful next season. So don't hang your heads. All right, next year's another year. You live to play another day.
And with that, the kickoff is underway, and this game is set. As number 7 returns, and he's got a lane. He's got a man to beat. If he can get past the kicker, he will have 6. He's slowing down and slips out of bounds right around the 31-yard line. Good on him. That was number 7, Jared Moore.
Jared Moore. Jared Moore is special teams king, man. It felt like last year he made all the plays on special teams on kickoff as well as in the return game. And now starting off with a big return for the Outlaws to go ahead and get him started. So great job there by Jared Moore getting his team steamrolling right from the get-go. And they're going to have great field position here in Spartans territory. And
it's starting off already like last week's team with special teams.
Yeah,
it's already starting off where they picked up or they left off last week. So
patented I formation here for the Outlaws. 40 front here for the Spartans. Looks like a 4-4 look.
Jay Hector, quarterback number 17. Handoff now to 15. He has a lane and is quickly swallowed up. That was Izard Carroll with the carry. Second down now.
Good run there by Izard Carroll with the carry, man. Good job there by him picking up a big gain. Tackle there by Tevin Ray, number 25, defensive back for the Spartans. So right off the bat here, Outlaws already starting to kind of establish a physical ways in the special teams being very physical, allowing a big gap there for their runner and more. And then 1st and 10, 7-yard gain there for the running back. Great job here so far by the Outlaws establishing themselves in the trenches.
And in great territory already. Hector slowing things down. As handoff again to Carroll, tries to bounce it outside, and he is met by, I believe that was
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Napick, letting them know early that he is here.
Great play by Ryan coming downhill, not allowing the guard to get to the next level and get hands on him there and fighting off and making a play for no gain there. It'll be 3rd down and short here now for the Outlaws. Spartan defense starting to settle in a little bit. And try not to give up too many easy runs here to start the game. So great job there by the Spartans. Great job there by Ryan.
Yeah, especially also you want to give respect to your special teams for gifting you in this great position.
Yeah,
so you definitely want to capitalize and cash in on it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Split back 2-by-1 here. Look now out of gun for the Outlaws.
Hector looks right now, looks to throw it, has the man deep, has to adjust and cannot come down with it as it's a little outside of his reach. Intended receiver there will get a number for you shortly. I believe that was 88.
Yeah, and on the defense.
No, way off. 28. That was Malaki Jones.
A great effort there by Jones defensively. Great positioning there by number 12, Davion May. Good job by him being where he needed to be. It was a tough throw, tough catch. And now we'll bring up 4th and short here for the Outlaws.
And correction, that was C.J. Venezia, 26, who's back in action tonight after missing last week's game with an injury. As the handoff up the middle is not effective. Gutsy call on 3rd down.
Number 11, big Reggie Jackson in there for the tackle, bringing them down in the backfield. Way to get off the field there, but for the Spartans now. And they'll get the ball here around the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Spartans.
So unfortunate, set of plays for the Outlaws after a great starting position. But, hey, like we always say, plenty of football left. But good on the Spartans to get their defense off the field. So let's see what Scotty and co. have.
Yeah, that was a great read there by the middle linebacker, Reggie. Not being fooled at all by the pump fake to the outside, to the fake screen, and just sticking to his key and getting downhill and making a play in the backfield. That's a great play by the linebacker there.
So another
2-by-2 formation here for the Spartans. 2 safety high look here by the Outlaws.
Handoff to Key. As I was told, they're going to be focusing on Key tonight as Finch is actually out tonight. So he's not there. I was told KD may get some playing time at back. But, yeah, Key is the key to their success tonight. And then also they on the defensive side of things, they're out of Antonio Smothers is not there tonight. So
Antonio's not
big presence.
Next man up for the Spartans, though, So we'll see who steps up and plays a big role for them and makes some plays for them on the defensive end. And Key's more than ready to carry the load offensively. 3-by-1 look here for the Spartans. 1 safety high here for the Outlaws. Look like a cover 3 look.
Scotty throws it left, incomplete. Intended receiver Billy, who's also back to 100% as he has been banged up the last couple of games, playing mostly as a kick holder and kick holder, special teams personnel. But now he's back in the mix, and hopefully we see the guitar tonight. Yeah,
definitely happy. I know he's definitely happy to be back on the field with his brothers. I know it kills him not to be on the field with the guys that he's been playing with for years now, and it was good to see him opening drive for the OC to go ahead and try to feature him on a play, get him going again early. So welcome back, Billy, and we'll see what he can do tonight. 2-by-2 look here for the Spartans. Again, 2 safeties high for the Outlaws. 4-3 look here.
3rd down now. Somebody
Looks
jumped.
like might be a free play.
As Scotty airs it out. And unfortunate as they blew it dead as Billy definitely wants that one back.
Yeah,
but
he does. Yeah, he looked like he had a little something special there in the scene that he was able to exploit. But plays blown dead, and they're going to have to retry again. They're going to go ahead and get the Outlaws here for an offsides.
A couple free 5 yards for them.
Yeah.
They'll take that. So 3rd, I don't know if it was enough for a 1st down.
I'll be 3rd and short. Looks like
3rd and short.
4.
So this has been the area of interest so far for both teams. It's pretty much where the whole game's been at.
3-by-1 here, bunch look here. Bunch towards the short side of the field here for the Spartans.
Scotty looks right, throws it, incomplete. As I believe intended receiver was Marchwan.
Looks like.
Or
it may have been Draven. Actually, it was number 88, Draven Taylor, that ball was intended for. Just simply looked like it was.
Draven.
Looked like a catchable ball. May have felt some footsteps coming in there behind him. Didn't want to take a big hit, but great job there by the Outlaws, forcing a 3 and out. Spartans forced to punt here, and the Outlaws set to return.
So now good on the Outlaws defense for getting their team off the field. So now let's see if the special teams return here. See if he can then take it to the house this time around.
Yeah, they got number 7 more back there again. Looks like we got some flags out there.
This was to be on the Spartans as they're
Yeah.
backing up. So going to give the punter some kicking room.
He might have more than enough room than he needs. They don't want to go any further back.
Touche.
Yeah, he might have more than enough room. They don't want to go any further back. So now that penalty is established here, we're going to go ahead and get ready to punt. Mr. Moore, number 7, back to return here for the Outlaws. Big special teams players, made some big plays last week. Opening kickoff this week, nearly took it to the house. And now he's set to try to see what he can do again.
As a tall punt will be returned by Moore. He guts it up the middle now, cuts it out to the right. He's got some more room to run. And this time he cuts it
Great block
upfield.
by number 4.
And he is tracked down by number 27 of the Spartans. But again, Moore's got almost 100 return yards already, and the special teams is looking special as a player on the Spartans is slow to get up.
Looks like number 5 is down, and that's Scotty.
No, they actually have 2 number 5s.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Carl. That's
Yeah.
Carl Creamer that was down for a split second there and then was able to get up and keep it moving.
Yeah. Carl Creamer.
No, actually, that was Scotty. Yeah.
It was?
Yeah, that was Scotty.
As
Because he was a punter. And he was last man back. So, yeah, looks like Scotty was down for a bit, but was able to get off the field. So, I formation here for the Outlaws. Tight end to the right here. 4-4 look for the Spartans.
Jay throws it.
Got
Looks
the
to
tight end.
get Svelbar. Again, Mike Svelbar letting me know how to pronounce his name. I appreciate that, as, you know, takes practice. So Svelbar reaching out, but that ball was right out of his reach. So 2nd down now for the Outlaws.
Yeah, you know, Tevin and Davion there, just, you know, for one of the first rules, let nothing behind you. And the corner allowed his receiver behind him, and the safety allowed the tight end behind him. So got to tighten up there in the secondary now for the Spartans.
Now handoff to Carroll. He bounces it reverse field and is not
Great
fooling
play. Great
Napick,
play.
who's everywhere tonight early in this game. So good defensive presence by
I
Napick.
tell you what, it's a great thing that he made that play, because if he misses that tackle, there's some room to run on that left side
Right.
of the field. So.
There was definitely some real estate.
Yes, definitely.
As 3rd down now,
Be 3rd and 15.
right on the 30-yard line. So
It's a long way to go here now for the Outlaws, 3rd and 15. Spartans will probably play some type of cover 4 or deep coverage here and allow everything in front of them. At least that's what I would anticipate. Split back here, 2-by-1 look now for the Outlaws.
Hector looks right, throws it, has CJ deep, and very impressive attempt as CJ tried to bring it with one hand.
Yeah, they're testing.
2 defenders, and all he needed was one hand, but Bible City out of bounds, incomplete.
They're testing a little guy, Davion, over there. He had some help from the savvy veteran over the top there, but they're really testing him. Shoggins had to come in there and kind of have his back, but look for them to go his way, especially if they got CJ over there one-on-one with them. They're going to try to exploit that matchup as many times as they possibly
Davion
can.
May, number 12.
Yeah, they're going to try to exploit that matchup. He's giving up a little bit of size over there at the corner spot. But great job there by the veteran Shoggins, having his back over the top. They'll bring 4th and long up here now for the Outlaws.
Yeah, take it as disrespect. They're coming at you, man.
Oh,
That
yeah.
means, you know, bully up. But then anticipation, you know where the ball's coming.
Outlaws usually like to do like a max protection out of the split back sets on long down situations.
Jay looks left, throws it, and that's intercepted. Is that hung up there just to be taken down?
He's got some wheels and some room.
And he's got some room to run. He's following his blockers.
He's gone.
Cuts it outside. Now back up the middle. If
he might get caught here.
Cannot run out of gas, he will get 6. Gets a second gust of wind, and let's see if he's in.
He might be.
Let's see what the call. He's in. And he's in. 6. Impressive pick 6 by number 2. Dadrick Miranda, letting them know, give that ball any more hang time, and I'll come down with it, and it's all mine.
100 yards on the football field. He ran about 150 there, crossing the field and reversing the field, and he got tired right around the 40. You could feel him breathing kind of heavy.
More cardio than I did all month.
I felt him gasping for air around the 40, but he still managed to get there. That's a great job there by the young kid. Dadrick, man, getting in the end zone. Congrats to him. But I'm sure the quarterback wants that one back. Just kind of let it hang up there in the air on him there. So I'm sure Hector, now I'm positive Hector's going to get another chance at it.
Usually punts have hang time, not throws. But, I mean, we see early special teams, performance, and then, boom, defensive pick 6, one of the better ones we've seen all year. So good on him. And we got an early Spartans score.
Getting ready now for the extra point here. Billy suing the holder.
Snap, hold, kick. Kick is blocked. Or not even attempted, as they got too fast. So Billy just picked it up and tried to do something with it. As the score will stay 6-0.
Nonetheless, damage is done now here for the Spartans. 6-0 ball game here. And what a play by the secondary here for the Spartans that's been under a lot of scrutiny all season long. And if they can get the job done, if they're always going to give up big plays. And great job there by the cornerback stepping up and making a play. Great job by number 2, Dadrick.
And speaking to, like I was saying, the intensity, just the vibes I got from both teams. I mean, this, you talk about, backup quarterback. You were trying to get him some love, stay safe, throws it out there. You see the Spartans that are hungry, gunning that thing back for 100 yards. So already, I'm getting the energy that was kind of presented to me.
Right, yeah. I mean, you saw all the Spartans turn around and try to lay some blocks and allow their guy to make a play, man. They just want to keep the momentum that they've been building on over these last few weeks. They believe if they can carry some good momentum into the playoffs, it can go a long way for them. And they're definitely coming out here trying to establish themselves, get a win, offensively not give too much not show their cards too much, but yet when plays like that happen on the defensive side, now they're up 6-0 and they haven't had to score an offensive point. So it helps the Spartans out here in this situation now. Now they just got to make sure the Outlaws don't score.
Yeah, and finally we saw some action away from that 30-yard line on the far side of the field, as this will be picked up by number 27 of the Outlaws. Bounces it outside, tries to spin out, and cannot, and will be dragged down around the 36. That is John Lewis.
Jaquarius Halbert in on the tackle there, number 27 for the Spartans. Great job by him staying disciplined and getting downhill, wrapping up, and bringing the ball carrier down.
So, as I said, we had a full slate of football, like always. The Arizona Hawks, took care of the Titans 16-7. They were kind of banking on they needed the Owls to lose to the Scorpions to get into the playoffs. I don't believe that took place. The Reapers shut out the Demons 36-0. The Rebels went down to Tucson, took care of business 14-0, ending the regular season 10-0. And I will continue after this play. First down for the Outlaws as Hector gets a pitch, dangerous pitch, as Carroll had to bring it down. And
good hit.
Napick is there on the stop.
Ryan is everywhere tonight, man.
Flag thrown, though, so let's see what the call is.
Sideline to sideline for that linebacker tonight. Great job there by Ryan. How about the Hawks, though, man?
5-5.
Yeah, 5-5 on the year. I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs, but, kudos to them for coming out, competing, creating a 5-5 season, and then your first year back after quite a bit of a hiatus as an organization, and you're coming back out, you're able to go 5-5. That's something to look forward to over there for the Hawks. Good job to them, great season.
Yeah, shouts to Robert Blue, the owner. He came on Intel this past week and was able to spill some beans on what's the tampering and the what's that called, the recruiting process in the off season, and then also just kind of told me about what's the process of owning a team and kind of rebranding one, as the Hawks have been around before.
So Intel guess now what? 9-1 on the season. Intel guess.
Oh wow, yeah. Actually, I think 9-1.
Yeah.
So, the roster builds up.
2-by-1 here now for the Outlaws as they send Raymond Reed into motion.
As a fake pitch.
Hand it off to the fullback for a dive. And it goes nowhere quickly. In on the play there, a host of defensive linemen there for the Spartans. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 now for the Outlaws. And Outlaws not really able to get much going after that opening kickoff return and the first down run. Ever since then, it's been either nothing or nothing. Nothing or loss, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, they're trying to be conservative, but at what point, I understand you want to, just take a spin around the block, but you got to turn on the engine, right?
Yeah, you got to turn the engine on, man. You hopefully got some gas in that car.
Yeah, right.
Split back here, gun, 2-by-1 look here for the Outlaws. Cover 3 look here by the Spartans, 1 safety high.
As Hector looks right, throws it. Dangerous pass as this is intercepted by Scroggins.
Yeah.
And he is fighting 3 Outlaws for more yardage. So 2 interceptions early for Jay Hector. And the pressure is on as the Spartans are giving them the business early in this game.
Yeah, and great job there by Scroggins staying disciplined. Able to come away with a pick there. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to get much on the return as a receiver was right there ready to tackle him. But, he was waiting for that ball, was able to go up, catch the ball at his high point, and be able to make a little bit of a return for, about 2 or 3 yards. So great job there by Scroggins.
So, JR, I need the defensive brain, man. Both interceptions, hang time kind of hanging up there.
Yeah.
Is that a defender's dream?
You're licking your chops.
I gotcha.
When that ball starts to sailing on there, you're licking your chops. But for a lot of guys, you're just thinking, don't drop it. Well, for the game changers, they're like, okay, this is a pick 6. We're going to the house with this one. Anytime that ball hangs up there, it's always dangerous.
I got you. Scotty looks right now, throws it on his back foot himself over. No, great pass.
Great play by the DB there for the Outlaws. Waiting to see if I can get a number here and give that man some recognition. But great play, staying right on top of Martwan Weaver there, not allowing him to create space there.
Is that 31?
31's out there at linebacker. I'll see what number he was when he gets back out there. That was a great play by the defensive back. I believe that was number 21.
Lopez?
Jordan Lopez, yeah. Step for step there with Martwan, who was no slouch. Got some burners out there.
Yeah, Martwan was. I said I was at the gas station. They said there was this Mack truck rolling through the town. Number 81 was the license plate.
Split back formation, 2-by-1 here now for the Spartans.
As a high snap, handoff to Key.
Key manages to roll forward there for about 3 yards. So, first down, take a shot to Martwan to the outside. Second down, get right back to your workhorse and Key Harris. Now you bring up a 3rd and 7 here. 3rd and 6 here now for the Spartans. 3:20 and counting here in the first quarter. 6-0 ball game in favor of the Spartans off of a pick 6 by Dadrick Miranda. That went all the way back to the house with a host of Spartans defensive players blocking the way for him.
Party in the end zone.
Yes, it was. 2-by-2 look here now for the Spartans. 2 safeties high here.
High snap, but this is dangerous. Good play by Scotty to keep it alive and then gets it away to Draven. And now he's got room to run. Spins beyond the sticks for a first down, so crisis averted.
Yeah, good job there by Scotty. Great heads-up play to get the ball out to his receiver and Draven. And then, of course, Draven, he's no slouch when it comes to having wheels, man. Draven can run with the best of them in this league, and he catches that ball, turns it up the sideline, and picks up a big first down here for the Spartans.
From crisis to capitalizing.
Yeah, trips look here for the Spartans. 1st and 10. 1 safety high here.
Scotty looks left, throws a dangerous pass as it's complete, and he is wrestled out of bounds. So the safety or corner almost jumped the route, but good catch. I believe that's to number 9, LaRue.
Yeah, that's LaRue Burley with the great play, keeping his eye on that ball with the defender flashing right in front of him, able to catch the ball, turn up the sideline, and again, pick up big yards here for the Spartans. So 2-by-2 look here now for the Spartans as they hurry it up.
As again, a high snap by Scotty, corrals it, and he is swallowed up by the Outlaws defense.
Yeah.
Second down.
Great job there by the Outlaws defense, bringing Scotty down when they got the opportunity. But he's got to catch that ball on the first snap there. When you bobble the ball, you give the defense a little bit more time to get penetration. So you're going to want to clean up the game a little bit here. But
could it be from the potato chips? His fingers are slippery.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go with the potato chips.
Hey, we keep the marketing alive here at the AzCFL.
Not mad at it at all. 2-by-2 look here. 3rd and 5.
As flags will be thrown here.
What kind of chips was he on? Was he on some barbecue chips?
Barbecue. No, see, hey, we got to go at some teams. I'm not dropping no names, but I've seen some swagger stealing, some swagger jacking. Some teams were trying to do the potato chips with other players, and I'm like, no, that's Scotty's.
That's Scotty.
That's
yeah,
Scotty.
That's Scotty's
so
thing.
Scotty's Frito-Lays, listen, I'm all about, inspiring. So you can do other chips.
Right.
You could do
Doritos. Yeah,
maybe a drink or something. Shouts to Robert Blue. Powerade, Blue Powerade, that's his thing,
Okay, I like that.
Ain't
nobody got no hot Cheetos, though.
No.
That's hot Cheetos. Everybody
we're waiting for a breakout player to break out the hot Cheetos.
Yeah, hot Cheetos with some lime. Oh, yes.
Those are the best.
2-by-2. 3rd and 10 here now for the Spartans after that penalty.
Scotty looks left, throws it, guns it a little bit behind the intended receiver.
He might have had LaRue there in that window, and he just threw it there behind him. I think he might have had something there. He would have been brought down quickly, but may have been able to complete a pass right there just between the safeties and the corner. So unfortunate, but that'll bring up a 4th and 10 here now for the Spartans with a minute and counting in the first quarter.
So the Owls ended up taking care of the Scorpions, 22-0. The Silverbacks playing the Bucks. I believe that game started at 5. We'll get a score for you when we can. The Headhunters defeated the Tigers 22-7, and then I believe there's a game going on right now between the Lions, and I don't know who they're playing.
Headhunters a dangerous team, man. This is a team that's been scoring some points lately. They haven't had less than 20 points in every game for the past 5 or 6 weeks, whether they win or lose. So any team that can score like that's always dangerous in the playoffs, man. It's going to be interesting to see how they do in their playing game next week.
Timeout taken by the Spartans. But, yeah, I mean, also, people think that playoff experience is just like a figure of speech and stuff, but people know the Headhunters from years past, and they've won championships before, so that plays a part in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I mean they got an experienced coaching staff over there. They got a couple veterans over there that were a part of those teams, and when it comes to the playoffs, everything's a level playing field. Whether you're the 1st seed or you're the 8th seed, anything can happen. All it takes is 1 or 2 miscues, and before you know it, you're in a dogfight with the team that you think you should have beaten. So the goal is to get to the point where everyone's 0-0. Now that you've reached that goal, now maybe you have a chance at shocking the world. All you got to do is take one game at a time, one play at a time, and you never know what can happen. So kudos to the Headhunters putting themselves in a situation now where they might be able to make something shake.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the playoffs is every team, 0-0, and what took place in the regular season may have been a snapshot, but it's not the indicator of what you'll do in the postseason.
Quad set here, empty look now for the Spartans to the far side of the field.
Low snap, Scotty. Dangerous, steps in the pocket. Now he's going to run it and is tackled shy of the stick. So turnover on downs. Good play by the Outlaws defense to
good play by number 31, Nathan Crumpler there. Coming downhill, being able to bring down Big Scotty there in open field. That's a great open field tackle. 25 seconds now as the Outlaws will now take the field offensively. And counting here in the first quarter as the first quarter winds down.
With that being said, I did get word that the Lions are playing the Roll Tide tonight at Yonker High. So I believe the Tide have been eliminated from the playoff picture.
Right. And
the Lions, secured their spot maybe halfway through. So
well, that's a team that's kind of surprising, man. I expected a little bit more out of the Tide this year, as I'm sure they did themselves,
Yeah.
I thought this year would be a year that the Tide would kind of show up. They got great quarterback play. They got some great talent over there, and again, in my humble opinion, the Achilles heel for the Tide is offensive line play.
Yes.
So hopefully in the offseason they can kind of correct some of those issues that they have with the offensive line, whether it be bringing some new guys in or maybe coach up what you got. But if they shore up that offensive line and they're able to truly be able to run the ball and become a physical threat in this league, they're going to be dangerous with Big Jake back there at quarterback.
I like their receivers. Yeah, I like the receiver core. I like their running backs.
Yeah.
Even their linebackers are cool. Like you said, the offensive line is kind of the the bread and the butter.
Yeah, a lot of times, in semi-pro football, you may have bad pass blocking, you may have bad run blocking, but the two together, the Tide it was hard for them to really create an identity this year. If they're going to be a running football team, if they're going to be able to drop back and pass the ball 30 times, Jake's running for his life, silent on the sideline all game. So it was really hard for them to get comfortable and establish a game plan. And I think it really, honestly, truly comes down to the 5 guys up front. They got to figure it out. However they do. I'm sure there'll be some recruiting going on for them in the offseason because they really got some talented pieces around Jake. And I'll go on record to say if they can solidify that offensive line, they'll be right in the playoff hunt next year with a chance at winning it.
I wonder what the recruiting process is to find an offensive line. You go to high school games.
Cheeseburgers and pizzas.
As the pass to Moore is completed as he's tackled high. That may be a face mask.
I think he got him right outside the shoulders.
Right outside the shoulders. Okay, so.
He was able to make one player miss. That was number 20. Let me shout him out. Big brother, Mr. Reeves. Able to make him miss, but he didn't make Scroggins miss. Scroggins made sure to escort him to the ground quickly, but not before the damage is done. It'll be first down here now for the Outlaws after being able to pick up a really big play.
And that's why they call it the secondary. If you miss the first man, they'll get you in the secondary.
They'll get you in the second. The second one will get you.
As first down now. As the ball is on the ground, and this may be Spartans' ball, as this is it dribbled forward, and yes, sir, and guess who came up with it? Ryan Napick. So we're giving first half awards. It's all Ryan in this game. Yeah. Granted with the 2 interceptions by the secondary as well.
Right.
But Spartans' defense letting the league know that the playoffs started early for them emotionally.
Yeah, and Ryan, hasn't had the breakout year that he's accustomed to. A couple years back, Ryan was an all-star in this league, so definitely capable, really fast kid. I got a chance to play with him for a couple years as well, and second to none when it comes to heart and passion for the game. It's great seeing him come out here right before the playoffs and really starting to play some really good football here towards the end of the season, or at the end of the season.
So early in this game, JR, 3 turnovers by the Outlaws, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you got your backup quarterback in there slinging the ball 40 yards down the field. It's usually not a good recipe for success. And 2, you can't afford to cough it up. That's quarterback-center exchange there, put the ball on the ground. So, I'm sure he'll get a talking to. I'm sure they haven't lost faith in him to get him back out there and see if he can clean up the mistakes and make a big play happen for his team.
Hand off to Key as he runs towards the outside and is brought halfway to the sticks.
That was a great outside zone run there by the Spartans. They've showed a lot of inside zone so far when they've ran the ball or a read option, so to speak, with the inside zone to it. So great job there by them trying to get to the outside, able to pick up 4 yards, just showing a little bit of a different style of run game. Looked like Spartans will show up in an empty. Traditionally, when they've showed up in an empty, they've ran like a QB draw of some sort or a quick screen. We'll see what they allow Scotty to do here.
As they're at that favorite 30-yard area vicinity of the field here.
Outlaws got one safety high against an empty look.
Scotty looking, rolls right, throws it, complete. I believe that's Martwan.
That's interesting. One safety high versus an empty look, and you still give up a short route. That's interesting.
Endless possibilities here at Game of the Week.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's something I'd be yelling about if I was a defensive coordinator. But Spartans moving the change here now. Good pitch there by Scotty. Great catch there by Mr. Weaver. And looks like they brought him down to tight end now. Is that Martwan there at tight end?
I believe, yeah. Mack Truck 81.
Got a 2-by-1 look here. Tight end attached here. Pistol.
As handoff to Keys, he's stumbling, falls forward for maybe 1 yard, if not no gain. As we'll bring up a third down now for.
Spartans showing a little wrinkle in their offense there, moving Martwan around a little bit there, putting him in at tight end. That's definitely a vertical safety's nightmare with that kind of speed at tight end going straight down the middle of the field. That could be interesting. A good little variation there by the Spartans. I'm sure it's something that they may come back to.
Yeah, I mean, traditional tight ends have the all hands, no body, like they like to say.
And then you got another 2-by-1 look here for the Spartans. Tight end attached here on the right. 2 safeties high here for the Outlaws.
And second down correction. As the pass to Draven is complete, he's riding the sideline, makes one man miss, and is brought out of bounds for a first down.
Fast. He covered 12, 13 yards there so quickly.
He did.
That was Really good pitch, really good
It's
catch.
the hair. It's aerodynamic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
It's like it's the speed, like the Nas and Fast and the Furious.
Oh, yeah.
They push the button. That's what it is.
Oh, he just took off, right?
He's got a button in his helmet. He pushes it. And
Let me find out. He's got nitrous oxide
in his helmet,
3 by 1
It's not a
here.
banned substance.
Bunch look here for the Spartans. 2 safeties high again for the Outlaws against a trip slope.
Scotty looks right. Now ducks into the pocket. Fakes a pass, looks like. And just calls his own as bring up a second down. So
Yeah, they got a guy. They may have a guy down here. He's got rolled up on. Oh, tough guy though. Gets up. So that'll bring up 2nd now and 6 here for the Spartans. 10:50 and counting here in the second quarter. 6-0 Spartans are up at the moment, and they are knocking on Outlaw territory. Looking like they're doing a really good job of mixing up running pass, and Scotty's doing a good job of fighting his receivers in the outside. O-line doing a good job in the trenches.
and also keeping like you said, the Outlaws guessing as the pass is
Oh,
complete.
Great catch, one-handed.
Very impressive. Let's see who that was.
Is that Draven again?
Let's see who came down with this. He fell down after the chest bump, but there is a flag on the field. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like it was Draven with the one-handed catch. What a catch by Draven.
The
there,
one-hand swag, but let's see what the call is.
Offsides here on the Outlaws, so that play will stand with that ball slightly thrown behind him, reaching back with one hand, running full speed forward. He's able to bring it in. That is a great catch by Draven.
Very impressive. Yeah,
Great
that's
catch.
they're going to celebrate that on film over and over again. So shouts to the Spartans. They're up 12-0. Extra point attempt underway, and the Outlaws are kind of shaking their head early in this, early in this game, late in this first half.
Yeah, and said Spartans didn't want to slow down, man. They wanted to come in here and establish themselves offensively, continue keeping the ball rolling, want to take the momentum into the playoffs. So
Going for 2. Scotty throws it over the intended receiver.
Yeah, 2 receivers there in the same area. I think somebody may have gotten the wrong route call there.
Yeah, that was Martwan, and I believe the other was Terrell Flanagan. So, like you said, some congestion there at the goal line, but still 2-score game for the Spartans.
Yeah,
they got defense working, they got special teams, offense is slowly mingling, and they're finding their way. The reason behind their 2-score lead.
All right, and the Outlaws, have only gotten 1 out of 3 of the phases down. Special teams, they can return the ball for 60 yards, but after that, it's pretty much been dead. So, Outlaws going to look for an answer here. I'm sure they're looking at their quarterback like, hey, let's get the ball rolling. Let's make something happen. So, Hector, he was talking about taking on the challenge a little bit today. Wanted to come out here, have a good start. So far, not so good, but still plenty of time in this ball game for him to turn that around. And he's got the type of talent to do it. So. I just wouldn't suggest him airing the ball out 40, 50 yards down the field. So
what's the communication process, though, between now the center and the quarterback after, like, a bad handoff exchange or something like that?
Really just get to the sideline, have a couple snaps between the two of you guys, and try to make not make the same mistake twice here. So that's really all it is, too. Just get reps. I know great hit.
Good hit. Looks to be number 14 on the hit there. That was Q Johnson.
Oh, my goodness. That was a ridiculous hit by Q. Coming downhill and just tearing his head off. And we just got word, ladies and gentlemen, there will be one less undefeated team going into the playoffs as the Bucks have taken down the now 9-1 Silverbacks.
Wait a minute.
14-10.
I need you to repeat that to me, because sitting next to me has been the #1 Silverback supporter in the history of Silverback Nation.
Yes, that hurt.
The Bucks that have been playing for their brotherhood, their family, and no playoff, and they pulled out the victory against the Silverbacks. As the pass to Svelbar is complete. If he can beat the defender, he will score, and he cannot, as he is brought down right around the around the 5-yard line. So Svelbar feeling himself early in this game. Good on him.
Great game last week, and he's picking up right where he left off with a great play on the seam right over the middle of the field. Great job there by him, and being able to make the catch and run for about another 20 yards or so. Great job there by the big tight end tumbling down the field. as now the Outlaws are here in Spartans territory with looking at 7
So
or 6.
I need to know the score. We'll get to it, but Bucks and Silverbacks, man.
Yeah, Bucks and Silverbacks. That's a bit of a surprise.
And there's some rivalry between their AzDFL days, I believe.
Yes, there are. They got a rich history between the two teams.
As a handoff up the middle. Now, am I seeing Aguilera now at quarterback for
Tony's come in, first pass, big play, and now he's commanding his troops and so far showing why he gets the starts.
Ironically, it was the connection between both players that let us know that we had their names incorrect last week.
Right.
It's Aguilera, not Aguilar, and
Right.
it's Tesvelbar and not whatever we were butchering last week.
I don't remember what we were saying, but it wasn't right.
I mean,
You
in our
gotta fix
defense,
it, man. You're supposed to be my spelling coach up here.
the last
Make sure
spelling bee
things
I
are
won
done.
was 5th grade.
You won?
I did win.
You're one of them smart kids, huh?
I was.
I
Are you
formation-
smarter than a 5th grader? Yes.
I get some of those questions right.
Pass to Moore is complete as he's looking for Moore, and he is wrestled.
He's still on his feet.
The whistle's blown as forward progress was called just shy of the goal line. So Aguilera coming in and hitting his stride early.
Yeah, he's coming in and letting his presence be felt right from the get-go as he's coming in the game. But great job there by the Spartans defense, not allowing him to get past the goal line, man. He caught the ball right on like 1 inch yard line, and they stopped him immediately there. So that'll bring up 3rd and inches, which I'm assuming we're in 4-down territory here now for the Outlaws. So they'll have 2 chances here to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, definitely, especially when they're moving the ball more efficient in the last 30 seconds than they have in the first 2 quarters. So.
Right. And it just goes to show, I mean, your starters are your starters for a reason, man. I mean, they tend to lift up the entire team, not just their play. Not anything against Hector, but Tony perennially has gotten the job done for the Outlaws.
Talking about experience.
Yeah, when he's in the game, this team is confident. They know that he's capable of getting the job done. He's won championships. He's made deep runs in the playoffs. So it's only natural that when he gets in the game, everyone gets lifted up, especially when they're down 2 scores. You're like, okay, Tony's back. Let's get busy. So that's exactly what they're doing, getting busy.
What's it like to change that mentality, during the live of a game, just like, hey, at first we're playing conservative, we want to stay healthy, and now it's like, nah, all right, we're switching it up, and we're live now,
You guys are just happy to see everyone that they want to win. At the end of the day, you got a group of men that want to win. They're going to do whatever it takes to win. They're just happy to see their starter back out there.
As the handoff up the middle, let's see if it's effective.
Yeah, it's a touchdown.
And just like that, we have ourselves a new game, 12-6. Extra point underway, attempt underway. Let's see if they go for 2 or just keep it traditional, as definitely saw some life in the Outlaws once they made a personnel change.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you got a guy who's just been in this system for so long. He understands exactly what the coaches want him to do. He understands what they're looking for on certain play calls, and he gets in there and he just executes. It's just flat out. He's not the prettiest, doesn't have the strongest arm, not the most athletic, but he gets in the football games and he executes. He does exactly what the coach is asking him to do, and he does it at a high level. That's why Tony is who he is. That's why there's so much respect for him around semi-pro football, and you just witness it there.
Snap, hold, kick. Good, as the extra point is good. The score is now 12-7.
Yeah, you witness him being able to come in the game and just lift his team up right from the get-go. Now we've got a football game. Before it was seeming like this was heading towards a blowout. Now we got a 12-7 football game now, and Spartans know they're in for a fight.
And, you talk about football being a job, and
Right.
just like with your coworkers, if you know what your coworkers expect, if you know what they like to see out of your performance,
Right.
it makes a better work environment.
Right.
So like you said, Aguilera being with the team and going through the ups and downs, winning championships, it's kind of like muscle memory at this point.
Yeah, exactly what it is for him. He's even on the tight end pass there, he snapped the ball. He knew exactly where he was going with the ball based on what the defense was doing, and that's exactly what the coach, I'm assuming, had in mind based off of a certain look. And it's always great having an extension of a football coach on the football field. He's a very smart guy. He understands the game very well, and he knows what defenses like to do against them, and he knows where the areas on the field are that he can exploit. And sure enough, marches the Outlaws down and gets them in the end zone. Great job there by Tony and the gang.
As you were saying, you said the Spartans are 3-1 against the Outlaws in
I
history.
think all time they're like 5-1 or 6-1.
So I mean, if Aguilera was part of those losses, he definitely knows what to learn from his mistakes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
As good tackle by the special teams unit, bringing the defender or the returner down around the 7-yard line.
Yeah, there was a great special teams play there by the Outlaws, and they've been good on special teams, all year long. Whether it be big returns, making big tackles, their special teams definitely gets it done. Great job by the special teams coordinator and the Outlaws guys out there just executing what they love to do, and that's play solid, hard-nosed special teams. That's just how they get down. They get it done in all three phases: defense, offense, and special teams. And every year, they're always right in the thick of things because they are that kind of team that can get it done on either phase. So, kudos to the Outlaws and the kind of rich tradition that they've built, and it carries on year after year after year, and it shows in a lot of these guys, whether they be new or old guys. They come out here and they get it done the Outlaw way.
Yeah, I mean, some teams are known for their system, and if you stick to the script, they bust out winning seasons, and they're well known for that specific reason.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Empty look here.
Scotty runs it up the middle, now cuts it to the left, tries to spin it outside, and is easily covered up by two defenders after that spin. So
yeah, empty look there, and like I said, traditionally out of that empty look, they like to do a little QB draw play. I think last time they hit Draven on the seam. So, but out of that empty look, man, they really love just to spread the defense out and allowing Scotty to run between the tackles. Usually there'll be one guy for him to try to make miss. He's usually able to make that guy miss and able to make a big play. But their Outlaws rally, make a tackle, and that'll bring up second and short here now for the Spartans. 2-by-2 look here for the Spartans, 2 safety high, showing a cover 2 look from the Outlaws here. Number 2 receiver on the far side uncovered. And
Scotty throws it complete to Billy, needs to break the tackle, and he can't. And as he did, he would have had
some room,
some daylight.
Outlaws doing a good job of covering space fast, like they understood where they were weak at on the field, and they got there quickly. A good job by the Outlaws defense rallying to the ball, bringing up third and short. So this is an important down here now for the Spartans. They got to pick up this first down to kind of maintain a little bit of momentum here. But if the Outlaws are able to get a 3-and-out here, and then a possible short field here on this return, then it could be interesting here heading into halftime.
Yeah, I mean, you also speak on momentum and carrying into. We talk about the regular season trickling into the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
The first half can be fancied as the regular season, and the second half can be as a postseason. So momentum translates to individual games as well.
Oh yeah, most definitely. As the Spartans come out in a 2-by-2 look, third and short.
As somebody jumped.
Free play here.
Free play. Scotty throws it over, thrown out of the reach, and out of the vicinity of Marchwan.
Yeah. Ball intended for Marchwan, just got away from Scotty there. But knowing he had a free play, just want to take a shot, see if his guy can make a play one-on-one.
It's covered by Ruben Gamage.
Yeah, Ruben Gamage. He gave me a hard time before the game for, calling him old last week, I guess. I must have said old. I apologize, Ruben. What I meant to say was experienced, savvy veteran. Does that sound better than old?
Vintage.
Vintage? Vintage sounds old,
That
man.
sounds old.
That sounds old. Sounds like he needs to be restored.
Nah, but he could be sold at like a cool pawn shop for like double his value.
What kind of pawn shop you going that sell anything for? Well, I guess they all do sell double the value.
Ruben Gambage on the play there.
Triple or quadruple the value at his pawn shop?
No, I've actually gone to a thrift store and they told me they couldn't take my clothes. Like it was too out of style for a thrift store.
I've seen you dress, so I believe it.
You
like that?
I like it.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are we still okay?
How's the foot?
No, okay. I see what we're doing tonight. 5:52 and counting here in the second quarter here, as looks like we'll have offsetting penalties here.
But yeah, man, I try to dress my own way. That way nobody can copy my style. Not even thrift stores.
It is for sure your own style. It's own, unique, and specifically for you. Kudos to you for staying in your own lane.
Hey, most rappers tell me to do so.
Oh, here we go.
Stay in your own lane.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
I listen.
Oh, actually, I guess the penalty was against the Spartans here, and the Outlaws are choosing to decline, which will bring up a fourth down. So fourth and short here for the Spartans, and they got special teams showing up now. Getting ready to punt the ball. So
Moore and Brown back. Brown's definitely, like I said, interception machine, not shy away from returning it if he gets his hands on it. And then Moore, like I said, already has probably 100 return yards already.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a great job. But kudos to the guys in front of him doing a good job blocking for him. He's had some lanes just to run through untouched. he's not getting touched till he's in the third level. So kudos to the guys in front of him trying to make big plays and spring their guy.
Let's see.
Punt is
High
up.
booming kick. As it will, let's see, it'll be downed around the 45-yard line.
Friendly bounce there for the Outlaws, and but Spartans able to get us to stop that momentum there. They have the ball right around the 50-yard line.
So, like you're saying, this game was leading towards a blowout. Now it's turned around, and now with better half of 5.5 minutes, the Outlaws are in business.
Yeah, Outlaws are who they are for a reason. They're always right around right in the thick of things, always able to get a win. They're always lingering right towards the end of football games, always a chance at pulling off an upset or a big win, depending on how you look at the game. But, they got Tony in there now, his second drive, and he's looking to see if he can go ahead and take the lead on this drive. I formation here now for the Outlaws.
Aguilera is sacked.
That is a great play there by the defensive end coming in, almost untouched there. That's going to be number 53, Christian Upshaw, making a big play on the defensive side of the ball. And he was one of the guys that Coach Dietrich was talking about before the game. As the season's gone on and we're getting towards the tail end, his defensive line play is starting to pick up with Shaq Cunningham in there and Christian Upshaw and Devo. And they're just all starting to catch their stride here now towards the end of the season. And he's really excited about what his defensive line's bringing to the table here going into the playoffs. So, and he talked a lot about Christian and how much better he's getting, how much faster he's getting, how much he's thinking less and just reacting to the game of football. And it's showing. He's playing a heck of a game here. And the last couple of games, he's really been showing out.
Tony just had no answer for him as he's backpedaling again. Throws it in. Dangerous as that hung up there to dry as number 25 of the Spartans almost came down with it. Tevin Ray.
Tevin Ray again, almost being able to be opportunistic there and make a play. But, man, what arm strength there by Tony, though, fading off his back foot and with guy, right in his face, able to kind of put a whole lot of spice behind that ball to his tight end, just slightly threw it behind him, but great arm strength.
So I wonder at what point, obviously the life has been rejuvenated in the Outlaws, but I'm not going to ask. I was going to say, at what point is there, you get back in the lead, and then for morale, do you put, Jay back in there? But
from this point on, they're trying to win this football game.
I got you. It's a different energy.
Oh, yeah.
As Aguilera throws it, lets that thing fly. He's got a man, and just out of the fingertips, I believe that was CJ.
CJ down the sideline, one-on-one with Davion. Davion step for step for about the first 40 yards, but that next 20, there was some real separation created there. And, Tony got a long, rich history of connecting with CJ on the outside, so I'm sure he wants that one back as he slightly out threw the speedster on the outside. But then big play here by the Spartans, 3 and out. They get the ball back with a possible chance at scoring here with 4:16 and counting in the second quarter.
I know we always talk food here in the booth. There is a pizza place in Arizona that I'm all right with. It's called Venezia's. I wonder if CJ is related in any way. And if so, CJ, we need the hookup.
Yeah, I definitely could go for a Supreme Pizza, a slice or two. Mild wings would be delicious.
They sell by the slice, so you know it's real.
Yes. Anytime they're selling by the slice, you do know it's real. Don't go to no pizza place that don't sell by the slice. So I can't do hot and readies.
As the kick is booming, and this will trickle, looks like, into the end zone for a touchback. So good punt. And
decent punt there by
good
the Outlaws.
play by the Spartans to get the team to get the Outlaw off the field with plenty of time for themselves.
Yeah. 4:08 in the second quarter here. Scotty and the gang will take the field, and they've been able to make plays here and there, but they've had some miscues here when it comes to receivers, quarterback receivers. So I'm sure they'd like to, as this game continues and we head into the second half and ongoing into the second half, really start to see Scotty connect with his receivers. Like I said, for the Spartans, it's all about chemistry, and it's all about continuing to keep Scotty with the hot hand. So you'd really like to see him be able to complete some passes and get the chain moving that way. 2-by-2 look here now for the Spartans. 2 safeties high. Cover 2 look here for the Outlaws.
High snap. This is going to go behind Scotty. He picks it up again and throws it, but incomplete to Billy. As Scotty's getting good at that, finding his lost puppy, if you will.
Yeah, just Scramble, where's my slot at? Try to find the guy so he can make a play for you.
It's like hot potato. You take it, bro. I don't want it.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to hear you take it.
Yeah.
You can make a play. Go make a play. Great. It's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a guy like Billy's hands anyways. Or, the Spartans do have quite a bit of guys who can get it done in open space. Billy, Twan, Draven, LaRue, those are a few names on the list. Terrell, there's a lot of guys out there that can get the job done. So all you got to do is
scan in the field. Scotty, over the middle, complete. Let's see if we see the guitar.
There
and
it is.
We do. Billy
is.
Sewing Jr. serenading us with a first down and more.
I wonder what he's playing. If it's like Van Halen or
I told you, if Pop Smoke had a rock album.
Let me find out if Pop Smoke coming out with a rock album.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Yes.
New York, Handoff up the middle of the key.
Maybe it's part of like his archive records. You know how unreleased records. He's
like
got a rock.
Machiavelli.
Right.
Could be.
Good. Spartans coming back with a little bit of inside zone there to Key Harris, and he goes for no gain. Actually goes for a gain of 3. So it'll bring up second and...
Key for 3.
Wow. 2nd and 7 here now for the Spartans.
I always show up at some point.
2:25 and counting here in the second quarter as the Spartans here now got a little bit of momentum with a big catch there by Billy and a short run by Key after.
Coming
Bunch
close
right to the short side of the field here for the Spartans. 1 safety high here for the Outlaws, showing a cover 3.
Do they get the playoff before the 2-minute warning? Looks like they will. As Scotty looks left, now looks right. Has a man in his face. That is Carl Manns, and he shakes him. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not Carl. That was 22. Jaden Mash trying to mash up the play as a coach was hurt.
Yeah,
so
one of the coaches got hit by Scotty as he was running out of bounds. That's unfortunate,
But let's see if he's good.
He'll be all right.
Scotty just trying to make something happen.
He'll be all right. He's cracking jokes with the players about it.
Good to see,
accidents
happen. Good to see. Clap it off. Good to see.
Yes.
It's football, folks.
Yeah, he's
that's
out there
football.
saying, well, if that's the case, I might as well get a helmet.
Yeah.
They don't want to see him in the game. He'd embarrass everybody.
He's a... I know what the special teams is looking like right now.
You know what I mean? So we got a timeout here.
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
So, yeah, man. Going into halftime, I always ask you to put on your hat, your halftime hat, your coaching hat. Going into both locker rooms, man. One team made the change. I thought that was going to be made after the halftime, but I think we've got an indication on what the second half is in store for the Outlaws, and then the Spartans kind of just calming it down, right?
Yeah. I mean, more so basic play calling here for the Spartans. At least in the last couple of weeks, we're used to seeing a little bit more motions and shifts and things of that nature. I'm sure they're trying to keep some of that stuff off film going into the playoffs. But if I'm in the Spartans locker room, I'm just going to talk to Scotty a little bit more about settling down, trying to make some completions. Talk to my offensive line a little bit more about pass protection, making sure we're giving our quarterback a little bit more time, because you really want to see him get comfortable with his receivers, especially heading into the playoff next week. That's my focus on the Spartans, and obviously continue to feed Key, continue to get the run game going. But for the most part, my speech is to Scotty and just saying, hey, we need some completions out of you, bud. You're playing great. You've been doing a great job for the last couple of weeks. Let's just settle down and get some completions. 3-by-1 look here for the Spartans. 2 safety high look for the Outlaws.
Scotty looks left now. Steps into the pocket, throws it, dangerous, as the closest person was number 19 on the Outlaws, Ruben.
And as far as the Outlaws go, I mean, they haven't played completely bad defensively. A couple plays here and there is what's really given up this lead. So, you talk to your defense. They've now settled down. You tell them to continue doing the things they're doing. Stay on top of routes. There's some speedy receivers out here. Make sure you stay on top of everything. Keep everything in front of you and rally to the ball. And offensively, we got Tony now. Let's just settle down, play outlaw football. Of course, we're still going to keep it basic. We don't want to show too many of our cards, but let's play physical, hard-nosed, outlaw-type ball this second half and give ourselves a shot at possibly winning this football game.
And then from a teammate standpoint, what are you telling Jay? Obviously, he got pulled, didn't have the best outing.
I mean, it's tough love. At the end of the day, as a teammate, you love the kid. He's been playing with you all season. You go over to him, you tap him on the shoulder. You say, hey, good job. Be ready to get him next time. Don't worry about this. Shake it off. When your number's called again, and it will be called again. Outlaws traditionally, man, they don't give up on anybody. So it will be called again. When your time comes again, be ready to go. It may be in this game, so be ready.
For sure. With that, a flag was thrown as the Spartans, I believe, jumped early or moved early as they're backing up. So minute 38 left in this game of the week, regular season. It's crazy to think we have one half left in the regular season. It flew by. When you're having fun, time flies. We had some dramatics, some antics, some injuries, suspensions. Had it all, man. One thing I'm surprised we didn't have, which I don't want to jinx it for the playoffs, but we never had a rain week.
Yes, we didn't have a rain week this year.
Didn't have a rain week this year.
I feel like it's raining less and less in Arizona.
Right.
2-by-2 look here for the Spartans as Scotty looks left. And
as the defender is all over him, as I believe that was Carl Manns coming back from he played a international game, I believe, in last week.
Yeah.
Bunch of different players from different states, different countries, but he was representing Team USA, and even the Outlaws helmet made it to the Sports Center. So shouts to Exposure, and shouts to him for putting on for the AzCFL.
And Carl, man, very savvy player, really good player, really disciplined player, really strong player.
They say, whose man's is that?
Whose man's is that, man? Because he's got great technique, great leverage, and he's got a good motor for a guy of his size too. So kudos to Carl, man. He's been doing it a long time, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon.
And I love the traditional 90 big man number. You know?
And he gets it done, man. He's been getting it done for years, no matter what team he's on, man. His name is always called. He's always a key performer on the defensive side of the football. So kudos to him and great play. 4th and Egypt here for the Spartans. Minute 30 and counting here in the second quarter as we get ready for the punt.
So let's see if the Spartans can punt this deep enough so the Outlaws don't come up with any trickery within this last minute and a half, as this is a good punt.
That's going to be a flag.
As they're saying it's a live ball, but now they're blowing it dead, saying that it was downed at the 45-yard line.
But he's got to give him some room to catch the football, especially if he's called a fair catch. I'm not sure if
there has to be, I think not 5 yards, but something like 1 or it has to be some sort of separation.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about what happened there and why there was no flag, but anyway, no harm, no foul. Play on.
Yeah, so I believe the Outlaws will get the ball around the 45 with 1:19 to go, and I think they have 2 timeouts left, if not all 3.
Yeah, I believe they do have 2 timeouts left here. So plenty of time for Tony and the gang to get to work and see what they can pick up here. They seem to find some success over the middle of the field here. So I would look for them to get back to that and see if they can attack some seams and some post routes and see what they can get over the middle of the field here.
And now there's some confusion, as I believe the Outlaws are on defense. So they're giving the Spartans the ball, and now they're giving them probably 15 more yards as some Outlaws are talking negatively to the refs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Outlaws aren't happy about that call. I mean, I wouldn't be either, to be honest with you. It didn't look like that play that should have gone in their favor is now going to go against them in a very bad way.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Outlaws, and the referee conduct has been chirps throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
I don't know referee play as much as other refs have done it, but I also have broadcasted plenty of football, and they're active, but it's hard to say. These games go by fast and they're live. We don't have replay.
I mean, the thing about it is, it's one thing when you got the bang bang plays, or was he out of bounds, was he not? But when you got safety type plays, safety type issues, I mean, the real reason for officials is to keep players safe.
Right.
And at the end of the day, and if players don't feel like that's what's being happened, then you get unsportsmanlike penalties, and you get chirping at the referees a little bit, and the fans get involved. So at the end of the day, there may be a point here for the Outlaws, but they've got to keep their emotions in check and continue to play football, because one thing that's never been done before is you've never won a battle with a referee.
Right.
2-by-2 look here for the Spartans, that they're now fortunate after that turnover.
And also, I think the frustrating part is the fact that the refs made a clear decision, and then they talked about it and came up with the opposite.
With an opposite, yeah. That's always tough when you're on the bad end of that, for sure.
Especially when the whistle usually is the definitive statement, right? So if the whistle's blown, who cares about what you want to talk about? The whistle was blown. They said they got the ball. Especially when it's a change of possession.
Yeah.
There should be something definitive.
See, and it's always and it's tough because right now we got a close football game. You had a situation where the Outlaws would have gotten the ball back with a chance to score, down by a touchdown. Instead, now you've got the Spartans with the football with a chance to score, up by a touchdown. So as far as the Outlaws are concerned, it's a huge momentum play.
And the field position alone.
Yeah. It's a huge momentum play that goes against them now, and I honestly, humble opinion from the booth is I believe they have a case. I mean,
I think the refs got it wrong on that
one. They have a case.
Especially they had enough time to look at it and figure it out.
Yeah, and then they still get it wrong. So
it wasn't a situation where a bunch of hands were on the ball and a bunch of it is a matter of like should have they called something because like you said the defender was in his vicinity.
He didn't allow him enough space to be able to catch
Let me breathe, bro.
And I believe there was contact made with the returner before the ball touches the ground. So I mean that's
the only case I've seen is when the returner calls for a fair catch and then moves, and then tries to
run. But they usually blow that
dead. But he didn't move at all. But he maybe didn't call the fair catch. That's the only thing.
Right.
As Scotty now looks to let this thing air out, and he had Billy, and he's down at the spot, and the guitar is tuning up for the second half.
Look at him dust himself off after playing at his concert.
You got fans screaming at him, VIP seats and everything. But, yeah, good play. The only thing that brought him down was gravity.
Yeah, 2-by-2, but a bunch twins look here on the short side of the field between Weaver and Sewing.
As handoff now, ineffective.
They've got to get better spacing before the ball snap. I've seen Key bump into Scotty quite a few times on the handoff there. They've got to do a better job in that formation, getting better spacing between the two of them. They're bumping into each other way too often on that mesh point. At that mesh point. 3-by-1 look here, bunch to the far side of the field. 40 seconds and counting here in the second quarter.
Scotty looking right, rolls out, throws it, and intercepted. As that was a dangerous, lazy pass by Scotty. Kind of just threw it up there for anybody to grab. And that came down by a Outlaw defender. I believe that was 15, Jelani Anderson.
Yeah, that was a great heads-up play there by the defensive player there for the Outlaws. But kind of a bonehead play there by Scotty, just tossing the ball up there, giving it so much hang time, when all he really had to do was just throw it out of bounds, and live the play another down. So unfortunate for the Spartans, but very fortunate for the Outlaws, as they'll be able to get away now without giving up any
Billy
points.
gives you that
guitar.
big boy play.
Yeah.
He tunes up the guitar for you. And was that second down? Like, you could survive. And, I mean, not to bank on it, but you've been gifted by the refs. So you got to cash in when you can.
Yeah, cash in. You've been given a chance at more points. Now you didn't get them.
So with this now, do the Outlaws look to just go into halftime?
Yeah, they definitely do.
I believe some of their players taking their helmets off. And they recoup as they averted another crisis. Right. So they're going into this halftime only down by 5.
Right.
As AzCFL Cactus Football League Game of the Week, Week 10, Arizona Spartans 12 to the Phoenix Outlaws 7, approaching halftime. Jesse Burke, J.R. Warner here. As I was saying, J.R., we lightly touched on it going into halftime. Both teams kind of have some tightening up to do on many phases of the ball. But Outlaws, what do you think is going to be the first topic of discussion? And then we'll take it over to the Spartans sideline.
Momentum's on our side now. We went down 12-0 at the beginning, 2 scores to start this football game, put our starting quarterback in the game, an opening drive for him. He comes down, he gets us a touchdown. We end up putting up 7 points. So if I'm the Outlaws, I'm going to say continue doing what we do. As far as the defense goes, we can't allow a big play. We can't allow a score. If we continue to keep the Spartans at 12 points, this game will get very uneasy for them. And if we continue to move the ball the way we have been that second quarter, we'll be successful offensively. So stick to the script, continue playing good football, and may the best team win.
Definitely. And then as we said, there's just some small housekeeping items that both teams need to attend to, but that's why they have this halftime, so they can figure it out. We also talked about, this game decides who gets the 3 seeds. So even though they've both locked in their playoff spot, as we see, there's an inner rivalry between these teams because there's history. They're better, well-known teams throughout the league. And now they want to head into the postseason without, second-guessing themselves or having an identity crisis.
Right.
And now we're seeing that the second half is underway to be just that, the stepping stone to the playoffs and what they need as a blueprint to be successful deep into the playoffs, not just being there.
Yeah. I mean, both of these teams, rich in history, rich in pride, playing to win. And at the end of the day, some people will say that this game doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a 3 seed, 6 seed. As long as you're in the dance, you got a chance. But they're very prideful teams, and they're going to do everything they can to come out the second half and get a win staying within the coaching script.
Definitely. So one last before we take a quick break. I mean, what's from the defense, offense side, is it more of a, pick it up, we got this, or what do you think the energy is just being from playing standpoint?
I mean, for which side?
I mean,
for the Outlaws?
Outlaws first.
It's really just sticking to what they do. I mean, they're, like I said, they're a very rich in tradition football team. They don't ever get too far outside of themselves. This halftime is about reminding each other who we are, what we're about. If I'm the Outlaws, and making sure that we come out the second half and just simply execute the game plan. Defensively, don't allow a big play, right? We've almost let up a big one to Billy there at the end of the half. We can't have any of those. And then if we don't allow the Spartans team to score again, we believe that we'll have another chance to score and we can win this football game. So stick to the script, play within ourselves. Don't be the guy to jump outside the wheel, so to speak.
For sure. And then, like you were saying, the Spartans, they kind of know what's working,
right?
And they just kind of continue it and then capitalize on the things that have been gifted them. May it be referees, may it be turnovers, but they're they got to just ride the wave and continue their success. And both these teams are their records for a reason. Right. They ride the waves, they iron the wrinkles, and they figure it out.
And Spartan O-line play hasn't been great this first half. The O-line's really got to step it up, really give Scotty some more time. He snaps the ball, he gets it, and he's running for his life. Each play looks like a design rollout right now for the Spartans, and I know for a fact that each play is not a design rollout. So, you got to make sure that you're giving that guy time so he doesn't end up in a situation where he's flipping the ball up, throwing picks in the end zone, So talk to the O-line, sit them down, and then, settle down Scotty. Let him know every play doesn't have to be for a big play. Take the checkdowns, take what the defense is giving you, and at the end of the day, just execute. That's all we want to do is come out here the second half and execute and be productive in what we do.
Survive to live another play, and with that, we will come back with a couple minutes left in the half as the coaches will talk to their team, talk to themselves, probably talk to the refs, as we will be back for the second half of AzCFL Game of the Week, Week 10, Arizona Spartans, Phoenix Outlaws. And welcome back to the second half of AzCFL Game of the Week. Arizona Spartans versus the Phoenix Outlaws. Halftime score of 12-7 for those just tuning in. Action-packed first half. A little mix and combination of miscues, some big plays, turnovers, and everything under the sun. JR, what do you think we are in store for the second half?
I think you're in store for much of the same, less the turnovers, hopefully, right?
Right.
I think both of these teams are trying to establish themselves in the trenches, and yet to be able to either side really able to be dominant and being able to run the football. I think you'll see both teams get back to trying to run the football, getting established in the trenches, and trying to put their stamp on this football game. Because right now, the 7-12 ball game, it really comes down to who could win the physicality battle, who's going to win this football game tonight.
Definitely, and we saw some extracurriculars with the confusion of the referee calling,
Right.
and then some personnel change with the quarterbacks.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of these teams, though. They're historic, they're seasoned, like you like to say, and they've been here before. So we're in store for a second half with what I'm sure is now reviewed,
Right.
recalculated.
Yeah.
And rejuvenated.
Yeah, and we'll see. At the end of the day, both these teams want to win. I know neither one of these coaches want to kind of show their cards at all. They want to keep something in the back pocket. But come crunch time, fourth quarter, if this game is still a close ball game, I think we may see some wrinkles on the offensive side of the ball or on the defensive side of the ball. Because at the end of the day, both of these football teams want to get a W tonight. So I'm curious to see, what is the determining or deciding factor between these teams tonight. Will it be some play calling variations? Will it be an individual effort or individual play? But right now, someone needs to step up, or maybe a big coaching call needs to happen for one of these teams to kind of separate themselves from the other.
But with that being said, man, we are one half left of the AzCFL regular season. The last 2 quarters left of the regular season.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. And it's underway as the Spartans will receive the ball with the momentum and the score.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the playoffs, man. I've been excited about the playoffs for the last couple of weeks. Usually going into the playoffs, you're like, okay, the 1 through 3 are shoo-ins. Like one of them are going to be, but it's so hard to tell this year. There's been so many good games. Even, like I said, the Rebels are at the top, and even when they've played against, some of the other teams in the league that are considered the top teams, there hasn't been any blowouts. They've all been close battles, close fights. And I'm really curious to see what separates the champion this year. What separates him from the rest of the pack?
As this will be returned up the middle, spins outside, and is down around the 25-yard line. So, yeah, I mean, getting to your playoff point, something that I think is a big outlier is the fact that, take it back to the championship run of the Lions. They went toe-to-toe with the last 2 minutes of the Spartans in the first round, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of cleaned up in the second round, and then, made their way to the championship and then
I'll
finishing.
never forget that, man, when they almost lost that game with about 4 or 5 seconds left. They were able to score on the 1-yard line to end the game. And, they were literally an inch away from not being able to make that championship run. Sometimes you, as a team, you kind of feel like it's written in the cards. Historic things happen to make things positive for you. So 1st and 10 here for the Spartans to show up in a trips formation. Bad snap turns into a draw play, so to speak, for Scotty that he takes there for about 5 yards.
And dangerous, I guess, follow-up of the tackle as his body kind of contorted a little bit. We saw that from yesterday.
Right. 2nd and 5 here now for the Spartans. 14 and counting here in the third quarter. Spartans showing a 2-by-2 look here on 2nd down. 2 safeties high here for the Outlaws here, going into a traditional cover 2 look versus 2-by-2.
Key is sniffed out early. He's running
good block
sideways.
Here on the outside.
As flags will be thrown as I think somebody got a blindside block, or
I think Terrell may have been called for a peelback block, the slot
peel
receiver
back.
there.
That's what it is.
I'm not sure about that one. I think he was able to get his head across. I'm not sure if they may have called him for, launching or whatever the case may be. But I think it was a fair play. The defender seemed like he still had a chance to bring down the ball carrier, and Terrell was just out there trying to make a block to make sure he didn't bring down his guy. So that's a tough bang call for the Spartans there.
And with that, there's the trainers out there. So never want to see
31 is down for the Outlaws.
That's Eric Snipes.
Yeah, Snipes.
Or Sipes.
Is it Sipes? Yeah, Sipes.
Sipes.
Sorry, Eric, that we just butcher your name week in and week out.
It's like
no, 31's isn't it Nathan?
No, that's Spartans.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Outlaws. Sipes.
Oh, well, you're a good man. You're a good man.
I should have told you that before the game.
Would have been nice. I've been doing a good job, though.
Oh, no, you've been killing it. But, yeah, Sipes, I call it Snipes because he's a defender, snipes out the offense.
Yeah. Huh.
But, yeah, it's trainers out there making sure that the player is tended to.
Yeah, I think he might have had the wind knocked out of him there. I mean, peelback plays are always tough. So that'll probably end up being a personal foul against the Spartans there with that hit. But I don't know. Kind of a bang play. Like I said, I believe he had a chance to bring down the ball carrier, and the receiver there was just trying to make a play to not allow him to bring down his ball carrier. So.
And the refs are talking to the Spartans, and they're pleading their case.
Yeah. And it's just unfortunate anytime you see a guy go down in semi-pro ball, you want to make sure that he's okay. It looks like he is as he jogs off the field under his own power here.
Good to see that. Yeah, that's Eric Sipes
yep.
jogging off. But, a lot of people, when they see players communicate with the referees, their logic always goes to, you're not going to change the ref's mind. But I think what the object of that is, or the objectivity is to, the objective is to at least let them know, like, hey, going forward, when you see something, maybe you should consider this, that, and the other thing. Right. So, plainly people think, hey, you're not going to change the ref's mind, stop talking to them, but you're also saying, hey, there's a whole nother half of football. Right. Get this correct going forward.
Right, and, like I said before, ref's job's to protect the players. That's a play in which, if I'm the Outlaws, I definitely would like to see that flag thrown. I don't personally agree with the call, but at the end of the day, your job is to keep the game safe, and that's how you get it done, by throwing flags when you believe that.
Scotty throws, ball carrier spins out, gets to the first stick, but actually gets to the marker.
That's a good job to make something out of nothing there by, looks like Terrell getting a chance there.
Third down.
It's a good job there. But, yeah, like I said, the referee's just supposed to keep the game safe, man. So anytime there's a question in their mind on player safety, they should be throwing the flag. So although I disagree with the flag, I agree with it in the same sense as to protect the players. If you think that was a foul play, throw the flag. But 3rd and long here now for the Spartans.
The refs want to protect the players, but also protect their presence and their knowledge of the game. And,
oh, yeah, for sure.
There's egos, not just in the players.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Trips right here for the Spartans, 3-by-1 look. Here, one safety high here for the Outlaws as they run a.
Scotty looks right, now looks down the middle, throws it, has a man complete, and he's got room to run.
Oh, he's gone.
He beats a defender if he can stay on his feet, and he is pushed off balance. And let's see who that receiver was. Terrell Flanagan making the chains move in a big way, and now they're in Outlaw territory, so the Spartans are rolling.
Terrell's got some real burners. If he doesn't stumble after that catch, he might be able to take that to the house.
Scotty rolls out right now, steps in the pocket, now starts to run it to the left, sheds the first man, and is wrapped up, I believe, by Blade, gets a grasp on him.
And that's the thing, like that ball snapped, the chains aren't even set yet, and it's almost like okay, there's 2 parts to this game, ref. The chains have to be set, then the ball can be snapped, so. Questionable officiating, so to speak, so far in this game. But,
they're a band of brothers out there, They're letting their confidence within each other. And, yeah, referees and, let's see. Timeout or unsportsmanlike.
I had a coach once say that, yeah, of course, everyone makes mistakes on the football field, players, coaches, and, of course, referees make mistakes, but the difference is that they can't be yelled at for it until after the game.
And they won't admit it during the game.
And during the game, they're always right. So
yeah,
might as well move on and on to the next play and see what can be done. 2nd and short here for the Spartans as they line up in a 2-by-2. Spread look here with 1 safety high for the Outlaws. So Outlaws doing a good job of mixing up 2 safety high look, 1 safety high look versus a 2-by-2. and trying to mix up their look so the Spartans can't get a beat on them. So
his handoff to Key is not that effective as he's brought down by his ankle.
yeah,
Shy of the sticks, bring up a third down.
right, about 3rd and 1 there after Key's able to get the jaw play there. And 3rd and 1, very manageable, run or pass situation here now for the Spartans. Outlaws got to be ready for either or, as they will be. Traditionally here, they'll try to kind of load the box here. You don't really see much man coverage from the Outlaws, so they'll try to either have some type of zone scheme with a blitz out of the linebackers from recent history. So we'll see what they do here. Spartans line up in a 2-by-2 here. Again, spread look. You got Billy Sewing and Martwan Reaver down to the right. LaRue Burley and Terrell Flanagan to the top. Key Harris and Scotty in the backfield.
Liking this matchup, Martwan throws it out of the reach or span of Billy. But yeah, Martwan was stride with Dion Hicks.
Yeah.
I like that matchup, a little one-on-one action.
Yeah. They've had a few battles over the time, and it's always fun watching very good athletes going at it one-on-one. But that time, Scotty not able to hit Billy there on the out route, and going to bring up 4th and short here now for the Spartans. And, this is the time for the Outlaws to try to get off the field. They haven't had the ball yet this half, and if they're able to get a stop here, they'll get the ball with a chance to possibly take the go-ahead lead. So big 4th down here now for the Spartans. 4th and short. It looks like they are going for it here.
Yeah, I mean, also from the early action we saw in the game, and then, the last score has been by the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Spartans have been rather quiet statistically.
Pretty stagnant here. They show up in a pistol look here, 2-by-2.
Handoff now up the middle, nowhere. Runs into
he might have got it. He rolled forward. He rolled forward there at the end.
So I think, now the call by the ref says he did not get it. So
you got one official saying that he didn't, one saying that he did, one spotting it for the first down.
And the Bander brothers got some confusion here.
They're going to talk about it for a little second here and see what the call
First
was.
look, you said he got it. I don't think he did.
I think he rolled forward afterwards and got it, but his knees never touched the ground, so that's still forward momentum.
And the Spartans are letting the refs hear it, which they got to be careful because, they're the refs are trigger friendly.
Yeah.
With their flags.
He's waving for a stoppage of the clock here as they try to figure out what the situation is.
So, I mean, we don't have replay technology, but at first glance, I think you go by the whistle. Obviously, we didn't hear anything until he was after the marker. So, by that,
you'd have to say he
got it, right.
Right. But
if you play for the Spartans and you don't want him to get the first down on that, you got to say he didn't get it, right?
If you play for the Outlaws.
Yeah. Or for the Outlaws, sorry.
Yeah. It looks like they are going to do a measurement here. But just looking at it from here, it does look like they maybe moved the ball back a little bit.
Yes, I mean.
At first it was forward a little bit more. And
now they moved it back.
So.
Will this be like the folded paper in the NFL with the first down? Did you ever see that when the ref actually took a piece of paper and lined it up to the football?
Oh, no, I don't think I saw that.
Oh, I got to show you that, man. Yeah. They even the ref was like laughing after he did it because it was really ridiculous. And they gave it a first down.
It was literally by the side
of a paper fold.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. They took like an index card and just marked it. It was ridiculous.
Football's a game of inches.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is.
College ruled paper or whatever it was. And with that, I think this measurement, looking by the spot,
it looks like he may have gotten it. Hold on. That's short.
No,
that's short.
It's short by the spot.
Short.
So with that, it's going to be outlaw ball.
It's short.
So,
tell you what, if that would have been called a first down, I think the Outlaw sideline would have went crazy.
Especially after the first scandal in the first half with the other ball placement.
They would have went absolutely bonkers on this side of the sideline over here. But fortunately for us,
crisis averted.
Yeah, crisis averted, and it went in their way. So.
We live for drama, but not that type of drama.
Not that kind of drama, yeah. We don't want to get in too loud.
We want like textbook drama, statistical, like between the lines, not, this is happening outside the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're cheating us.
Shouting matches.
Yeah, don't want none of that.
None of that, sir. But with that, they gotta move this ball quick so there's no more change of heart.
I'd watch this matchup here down at the bottom that they've already got set up here between Dadrick and Moore here at the bottom. That's a battle of two young gunners right there.
So first down now, a handoff.
Ooh, Ryan misses a tackle.
So I believe that's to Carroll again, or that was Jelani.
Yeah, that was
14 is Carroll, 15 is Jelani.
That looked like that was number 25, I believe.
Oh, it was 25. Vidal Wilson. Or Vital.
Yeah, we'll
He's going to correct us next week.
Yeah, we'll know.
We'll know.
Sure.
We'll find out.
I'll get a message to my DMs. It's Vidal.
It's like, yeah, they always give us some analogy. Like, it's like saying vital, but 3 Ds or something. Yeah.
4 A's. Oh, Vidal. I mean, but empty look here now for the Outlaws.
Second down now. Aguilera backpedaling,
Screen
throws
play.
it, and good
play.
stop by the Spartans defender. Looks like number 90 coming up there with this play. That was Prince Young.
Yeah, that's a big play there by Prince, getting down, not getting fooled, sniffing out the screen, and then coming downhill and wrapping up and making a great play in open field by the big guy. Great job by Prince.
So there has to be some sort of magnetic force field that draws this ball to this part of the field, because it's been 3 quarters on this spot.
Right around the 35, too. Yeah, it's right there.
It is right there. And those that can't see at home, but there is a perfect monolith to this building that is in my perfect view. So
right in the way.
Shouts to the structure, the blueprint on this one.
The architect.
Yeah, shouts to him.
Attaboy. He thought about this too. He knew that you'd be here.
He knew it was the world. Is about me. So
empty look again here for the
Aguilera backpedaling, throws it now, has a man out of reach for CJ. Had a hand on it, could not bring it in.
Davion's over there battling with the veteran CJ. I'll give him credit, man. He's giving up some size, but he's definitely making up for it with a little bit of hard, and he's also kind of quick. You can't be short and slow. So he's a little shorter, but he's quick, and he's battling back there with CJ, and it's good to see, and it's good to watch him. He's been targeted about 5 or 6 times in this game so far, and he's yet to let up a catch. So
we have D. May versus CJ.
Yeah, D. May versus CJ. Look at you. Huh.
There's some that play, there's some that broadcast, and we know what I do.
Yeah,
I broadcast.
Definitely broadcast.
Alongside my guy, J.R. Warner.
Who does both, apparently.
He does do that. Shouts to those watching at home, AzCFL, Cactus, Media X, home of AzCFL Live, AzCFL Intel, Commission's Corner, and more content cooking up as the punt is skyscraper-ish, as this will trickle in favor of the Outlaws right down around the 15-yard line.
I've been thinking about maybe possibly bringing like a coach's corner to the table next year. We sit down and you pick some of the coaches' brains on the X's and O's and kind of see where their minds are at, and as far as football goes week to week. Wouldn't that be kind of fun?
I think we should do like the coach's couch, where you got the coach on the couch, and then you just kick it with him and just find out like, hey, bro, what's up with the khakis? I don't know.
The khakis. Of all things you could ask a coach, we want to talk about his fashion sense. That's what we're doing.
Hey, but what's up? Is there like a team bond between coaches? Players have that respect. Like the grip and like the pat and the hug. Yeah. Coaches got like a certain handshake they do with other coaches.
I'm not really sure. It's more so a verbal respect. They usually say it. Like,
yeah, Streets is watching.
Streets is watching. I respect what he's doing out here.
Yeah,
kind of deal. 2x2 look here for the Spartans as Scotty looks right.
Pitch.
Shuffle passes it here
to Billy. Nice little pitch.
Yeah, not bad.
As
no guitars, there was no first down. But
no, I think you're right. I think the guitar is first down signal. So Batman has the bat signal, and Billy's got the guitar.
It's just interesting seeing such a different style right now from the Spartans than we've seen the last few weeks. I mean, they've done a little bit of hurry up here and there, but we're not seeing as many motions or as many formation changes. They've been really basic in their approach to this game, and And it's just you're just used to a different style of play from them that we're not quite getting today. Outlaws, take away Tony not starting, they've kind of played their style of game. So
exactly, his key is tripped up. As not much going on this side of the field either, but as we talk about, there's definitely plenty of time left in this game. But there's a time where it's weird to see, but there's kind of like they switch places. The Spartans are being more conservative, and the Outlaws have now been kind of going for broke and really wanting to win this game. So, at some point the Spartans, they have the lead, but I guess their mindset right now is just keep grinding out yardage, keep moving the chains.
Whereas, my mindset would be, let's try to see how many points we can score, put up as many as we can, and let's get Scotty out of here.
True.
And then get KD in or give somebody else some reps so they can see, so they can get some.
Scotty throws it to Martwan, spins out a tackle, cuts beyond the second guy, and takes the third guy with him.
Ride.
Yeah.
So that'll bring up a first down, big first down there by the Spartans there. Good pitch and catch from Scotty to Martwan Weaver.
Weaved his way through the defense.
Yeah, he definitely did that. Now we will be, on the 36-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 now for the Spartans. It's 5:25 and counting here in the third quarter. 7-12 ball game in favor of the Spartans.
So.
Trips look here for the Spartans. Towards the wide side of the field, 3-by-1. Cover 3 look here for the Outlaws.
Scotty looks left, throws it, gets to Billy, cuts past the first defender, trickles down for maybe 2 yards.
See, that's something that Billy really excels at, is being able not to let the first guy bring him down. He's really good in space at making one guy miss, and then he doesn't have blazing speed, but he's just fast enough to make you respect him. And it's another example there of him in open space, making a guy miss, getting upfield, taking what he can get, and not taking a big hit in the process. So
making your man make the first move. I mean, that's textbook, chapter 1, and
right.
Getting for him to bite on the first play, that's right there. So good on Billy to, like you said, make the play and then turn uphill and be able to turn, the second gear of the play, if you will.
Essentially turning, nothing into something. Which,
exactly.
Anytime you got a player who's able to do that, as a you can bail out a lot of offensive coordinators.
Scotty throws his shoulder in the. At first, I thought his hand warmer was the ball.
He's taking way too many hits as an Outlaw defense gets in there again. He's just taking way too many hits tonight. This is a game, week 10. You've already sealed a playoff spot, and you're not protecting your starting quarterback. I'm not liking the amount of hits that he's taking tonight. If you notice, Tony or Hector haven't taken as many hits.
True.
And that plays
Although
a factor.
The 2 hits one of the Hector hits was a fumble, right?
Yeah. I mean, no, that was a botch snap, wasn't it?
But it was a botch snap.
Yeah,
correct,
a botch snap. So he hasn't taken really any hits. I think Tony was tackled 1 time.
And also, I mean, talking about they want to secure this 3rd seed because then the 3rd seed plays number 6, which,
right.
Theoretically should be a weaker team than 5. But once you start getting to 4, 5, 6.
If you think about it, I think that 6th team right now is the Phantoms. So
yeah,
so
that's like you don't want to.
That's what I'm saying about this year's playoffs. It's like there is no weak link.
Right.
There is no one can play 8 and be very mad at the end of the night. It's that kind of playoffs this year, and it's going to be fun.
As Scotty
sidesteps,
Scotty. He's got a man behind him and gets past him, lowers his shoulder. Nice, boom, laid by Scotty.
Run.
Also, yeah, I mean, speaking to it, like you said, you're just as good as your last game, and the Bucks beating the Silverbacks. Now like you said, the 1 seed could be upsetted by an 8 seed or something like that.
And we always said it about the Bucks all year long. It's just they've had the talent, they've had the coaching. It's just a matter of getting out of your own way and playing football. And then, now that you're at the end of the season and, your playoff hopes died a few weeks back,
right.
You're getting down to the core group of guys who really just want to play ball. And then when you have that, you're a dangerous football team. So kudos to the Bucks going out there against the Silverbacks, getting a win. But that's a tough loss for the Silverbacks. At the end of the day, you want to roll into the playoffs. Yeah, undefeated, whatever. But you want to roll into the playoffs with a win, especially if you're an undefeated football team. And to lose to a non-playoff team, 14-10 in a tough battle, that's a tough loss for the Silverbacks. But at the end of the day, they're in the dance and they got a shot. So they'll regroup and they'll get back to it.
The punt sails out of bounds, or just now out of bounds, around the 45-yard. Yeah, I mean, so statistically, 9-1. Hey, you in the playoffs, you look good on paper, yeah. But then emotionally, and rhythmically, you're only as good as your last game.
Yes.
So you come into the playoffs and people are like, oh yeah, the Silverbacks. Didn't you guys lose last week? Right? Like that's the identity, right?
Yeah, I mean, and didn't you guys lose to the Bucks?
Right. The team that has lost its identity all year or never really quite found it.
So I believe I think I was wrong. The Phantom wouldn't be the 6th seed. The Thunder.
Okay.
Thunder are the 6th seed.
Tucson Thunder, but they're a scrappy team, and
And
if you have to travel to Tucson, who knows?
They got some bad losses this year, but they've also got some really good wins on their belt. They've beaten this Spartans team that you see here today. So at the end of the day, they can play, they can beat anybody. They're running the wing tee over there, and they've been successful doing that this year. So, shout out to the Thunder for punching their ticket and giving themselves a shot.
As pump fake here by Aguilera, throws it now complete. That's more, looking for more, as he gets a first down. But so the Thunder would be the 6th seed. Is that definitive, or is that based on who would win tonight?
That's definitive. They are the 6th seed. These two teams are battling for 3rd and I believe 5th.
Okay.
But I'm sure I'll be corrected here by the
Again.
by the PR team if I'm incorrect.
For sure. But see, the unique thing about that too is the Phantoms talk about they're well rested right now. I mean, having a bye week at the end of the year, that's great. That's like having gym class at the end of the school day. You don't have to get sweaty for the rest of the classes. These guys are well rested.
Yes and no. See, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde. Like I've always preferred to have a bye week in the middle of the season. I mean, if I could, I don't want one too early. I don't want one too late.
Because of rust.
Yeah, and on top of that, the Phantom have not played great football
at
these
night.
Last 2 weeks.
Or at night. Okay.
Yeah, just in general, these last couple of weeks, they haven't played great. So I would have liked, if I'm their coach, I would have liked to have one more go around, one more game, see if I can build some morale up right before the playoff comes. But coming off of 2 losses heading into the playoffs is always pretty tough.
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot if you factor the weeks before too. Yeah, touche. I am
especially in the way in which they lost to the Spartans in a blowout fashion, and then a tough loss to the Outlaws last week, and
yeah, you're right. They want to. Because you don't get a second chance in the playoffs.
Right.
As Aguilera is backing up and a little too far. As the ball's on the ground, and
that
crisis
guy
averted.
Christian, man, Upshaw at it again.
Crisis averted by number 32, Billy Craglow. As the fans are letting Aguilera hear it, that he should throw it away. As we have approached the 4th quarter, the last quarter of the regular season for the AzCFL season 2021, man. It's crazy to think season 2020 left us high and dry with, kind of no direction, and we didn't know what was left. And, the teams by the masses, if not stronger than ever, came back.
Definitely.
And we got, new team, new broadcast, new production, and we're rolling, man.
Yeah.
Intel's been cooking. Our Cactus Media X has been cooking. The league's rolling. We got some teams, some big ballers, and the playoffs are looking to shape out to be, maybe I'm biased, but better than the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, that was a little tough to watch. But
if a 44-year-old quarterback is cleaning house, no thanks.
Yeah.
Hey,
but that's not your average 40-year-old quarterback.
Yeah,
though,
yeah, I know.
that
But
guy.
it makes me feel better when the pro athletes are still older than me. Makes me feel better.
And winning Super Bowls?
Yes.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm like, man, 44, maybe I'll be great then.
I don't even want to get out here and play at 34. Hey, you're
Tell
going
you,
up
man.
against guys who are 6'6", running 4.5 40s. This is insane. Absolutely incredible. I think if the Lions win and Spartans win, then Spartans would be the 3rd seed, and Outlaws would be 4. The Phantoms right now are locked in at the 5th spot. So, as I said, the PR team will correct
you. So it's not definitive. So, hey, let's just wait to see how this game unfolds.
Shout out to my guy, Raph, PR number 1.
And let's find out how the playoff picture breaks down.
Yes.
Because it could shake.
It could shake. But at the end of the day, every matchup in the first round is going to be a great
It's
matchup.
like March Madness, baby.
Yeah, it's
everything's
be a great
lit.
Matchup.
Everything.
I don't see anyone winning by more
grabs.
than a touchdown, or 2. It's going to be a great first round of playoffs.
That pass was batted by Rowe.
Reeves.
And kind of lost it in the air. Lost it in the lights we're going to give him. Couldn't come down with it.
I think that's like Rowe's 3rd or 4th interception attempt this year that's been dropped or batted up or batted down. Rowe should have like 4 or 5 picks this season. I'll make sure.
Are you saying he's all thumbs?
I'm not saying anything about my brother.
Rowe. What's up?
You're not gonna do that to me.
I'm not doing that to you. You did it to yourself.
I got to answer to that, man.
Bro, we out here, man. Bummy God. Was it Bummy God?
Bummy God. He
Bummy
gonna send me
God.
a text message like, "What was you saying?" Yeah, you don't put me in that situation.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. Yo, Ro, text me, bro. I got you. But nah, man. Shouts to the brotherhood. Shouts. I love to see the social media presence and the memes, and it's great.
Yes.
Adds hype to these games.
Oh man, makes it all fun. Gives you something else to play for. You play to not show up on one of those.
Exactly. As the punt,
it may have hit. I think it may have bounced off the back of an Outlaw player, right off his back.
And with that, nobody saw it as they would be down at the 25. So Outlaws back with, let's see, Mans and them out to set up shop defensively, and the Spartans now trying to add to their lead as the momentum. I don't want to say momentum, but the action statistically has slowed down on the scoreboard.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of just some line dancing, if you will.
Yeah, you're trying to bridge a gap here between not trying to show something in your cards and win a football game, and a lot of times the games like this are you got to pull a trick out, something that the other team hasn't seen before, and each team not willing to do that and get it on film. Going into the playoffs.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
interesting to watch.
As handoff now to Key, he cuts it up the middle.
Tell you what, Outlaws defense a lot quicker than a lot of people give them credit for, man. They really do a good job of getting to the ball carrier and just getting downhill, man. And look at how much powder blue pants you see coming away from that play. About 10 hats to the ball. So they don't get enough credit for being feisty and extremely competitive on the defensive side of the ball. You talk a lot about their slow, methodical approach, but you got to have a tough-nosed defense in order to do what they've been able to do over the years. And I just want to take time to kudos to them for everything they're able to do. And as you can see, a lot quicker sideline to sideline than people give them credit for.
Yeah, I mean, like we say in basketball, when a player has a quiet 30 points, as the pass is complete, but then swallowed up by number 5. That is Deion Hicks. But, yeah, I mean, getting to Hicks as he's flexing, letting them know now as I think the Spartans are going backwards. But yeah, no. So with that, let's see. First, third down now.
So score in from Lions versus Tide game as the Lions are up 21-0 in that game. No disrespect to the Tide, but as expected in that ball game, as they are now in the fourth quarter of that one.
Scotty throws it complete to Key. He breaks the tackle, and he finds his way deep into the Outlaw secondary, coming down right around the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it looks about the 43. And good play by Key there on the screen route, but good job by the offensive line. Got there, getting in the way in front of people, making it hard for them to bring down Key one-on-one. Scotty out there throwing ducks, duck, goose.
But, yeah, no, I mean, getting back to what I was saying about in basketball, they have players that, we say it's a quiet 30 points. That's kind of how I feel about the Outlaws. Like, they're a quiet playoff team, right? They quietly score. They're always in the mix, and they don't talk amongst, outwardly.
Yep.
They're an internal presence, and just that. They're like a quiet playoff team.
And then before you know it, you're introducing their starting lineup on championship day.
Exactly.
It's a crazy situation.
Yes.
You're like, who are these guys again?
I don't hear them talk all week, all year. But
yet they're always right there, always in the battle of things. They compete with every team in the league. There isn't a team that can honestly say they just dog the Outlaws year in and year out. You know what I mean? None of that.
As another handoff to Key.
Great play.
Sidesteps. Good play by the defense.
Yeah, great play.
Number 10 on the stop, or in on the stop, Jarrell Minter.
That was a great play by Minter there, getting downhill and being able to make a play on Key. Key's a big guy. He's about 6'2". I would say about 215, 220 pounds. He's not a light running back to bring down there. And Minter, a smaller guy in comparison, comes downhill and makes a great wrap-up play there for a loss there on Key. So good job by Minter.
There's always that famous safety, Mike Minter,
Yeah.
or linebacker for the Panthers. Baller.
Yeah.
So
3-by-1 look here for the Spartans. Trips towards the far side of the field.
Scotty throws it on his back foot. Overthrown. Intended receiver LaRue. No, I'm sorry. That was Flanagan.
Someone seems to be coming free, scot-free every single time there when they're in that 3-by-1 look.
Scotty free, if you will.
Scotty free, yeah. And when they're in that 3-by-1 look, Outlaws have really found a way to get pressure off the edge with the guy coming through scot-free. There's got to be some type of adjustment that can be made here by the Spartans to get the edge rusher blocked. Seems to be getting in free every single time here.
So 4th down now, and I mean, not to be obvious, but the Outlaws need to make something shake on this series.
But, like, these are, 10 minutes left in the game, 7-12 ball game. Outlaws, again, lingering right in the thick of things. It's almost like starting to play to their hands, so to speak, where the miraculous Outlaw play is just right around the corner. Sorry if I've jinxed it.
As it
takes a Spartans bounce here.
And it's going to be down to around the 28. Yeah, I mean, there's a phrase that goes around the AzCFL, and I don't believe in wizardry and, the superstitions, but they call it outlaw magic.
Yes.
And I've seen some roll their eyes towards that. I've seen some get hyped when I say it. But, I've witnessed them come out at the end of a game, but I also don't want to take away the efforts of those players by saying, somebody waved a magic wand, you know?
Right.
You guys did what you did to get where you needed to be. So if there's any outlaw magic tonight, it will be from them turning it around, not any mysterious spirit.
There's an outlaw aura.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Outlaw ozone layer.
Been around the league a long time, man. It's just, and that outlaw magic is more so to speak to the way in which they get it done. Like, at the end of the day, they find a way to win. I think that's what it more speaks to. Is around the league, it's considered more of like a term of endearment towards them, not really derogatory, but more of a term of endearment, as they always seem to have that what you need to be successful towards the end of football games. And we're entering that point when you get into the single digits number, 9:37 left, getting the ball down by a touchdown, where some of that outlaw magic may happen here. And then teams usually have a hard time fighting back from it once it does happen. So we'll see what happens.
Let's see. This punt is taking longer than a red light when you're going to work.
Man, and those red lights be taking forever.
Ever, right?
Another penalty here against the Spartans that'll march them back even further. Got to be careful. They got another penalty or so here. That, Outlaws gonna have great field position here, and they haven't been able to stop Jared Moore in the punt return or kick
and
return
also
game.
Talking about like gifting. We talk about a lot of these scores come from the capitalization of the mistakes and special teams. Even though you live and die by them, that's where we've seen the living and the dying.
Right.
The punt is skyscraping and will not be returned. But like you said, JR, good field position.
Yeah, good field position here.
44-yard line? No,
43, 42.
43, yeah.
So good field position here for the Outlaws with right around 9 minutes left here in the ball game. And a chance really to, if they can sustain a drive here for, about 60 yards, they can make something that will make this game really difficult on the Spartans. So we'll see what they want to come out here and do. We'll see what formation they come out here in. And kind of curious to see if they want to get their run established or if they want to get their quick game established.
So entering the 8-minute mark, JR, man, I want to thank you for joining me in this regular season. It's been a blast.
Oh, man, it's been a ton of fun.
The reviews have been building. Shouts to everyone that's been tuning in. We know Jonte is watching. He's like the AzCFL Booger McFarland, if you will.
Yeah,
and definitely lets players know when they're doing well and when they're not. Shouts to you.
Big run there by the Outlaws there, picking up a first down there off of 1st and 10.
Will we see Jonte's son as an outlaw? Theo, future outlaw.
In what, 2042?
We'll be here in the booth, bro. Calling. We're like, hey, Jonte, man, get off my shoes, bro.
Yeah, for real.
But good play. 2nd down now. Special thanks to everybody that's made this possible. The fans, the family members, the girlfriends that put up with the players talking about, I didn't get enough passes. Man, did you see me out there? Yes, I saw you. Shouts to our production team, Donovan, and producer Jessica, camera. We got Commissioner Matt Archer, who makes all this possible. Raf, league official. Like I said, the trainers, the players, the coaches, the assistants, even the chain gang.
Yeah.
My clock operator to the right of me, who I always forget his name, but it's okay because he knows I mean well. So all of you, thank you for putting up, a team effort.
Yeah.
Just like sports and football, production is a team effort, and
a lot of
couldn't
people
do it
on
without you guys.
the other side of the camera, you don't get to see the trials and tribulation of production. There's so much goes into trying to make this happen every single Saturday night for you guys, and I'm just glad that Matt was able to find a dedicated team that allows us to come out here and do this, and no one's here is making top dollars to do this, so it's just fun to be here, fun to be a part of this atmosphere, fun to get to know all these guys and be able to put on a show for our
As
audience.
Aguilera is way past the line, and he needs to beat one guy, and he may be in.
Look at Tony go!
And he fooled everybody, including ourselves, as that was confusion at its finest,
What
and
a
the Outlaws are in business as
Remember that play I told you about with the trickery? And that nobody wanted to show their cards?
You got
the team that shows their cards.
Some candy has been spilled here late in this fourth quarter, and we gotta thank karma. We out here spreading love, congratulating, thanking people, and boom, great play.
Great play, yeah. We also talked a little bit about that outlaw magic.
Did I see a magic wand somewhere? So wow, that was impressive. Big man, good on Aguilera for keeping it roll.
Far side of the field here. Watch this matchup between Jared and Dadrick. He might be giving up a slant route here. Yep.
As he throws it, and let's see, there's pass interference.
He was early.
As he is upset, but the only person he can be upset with is himself, he was way too early.
But you can see them setting it up. They lined up in that similar formation before towards the short side of the field. So then when I saw them come back and do it towards the wide side of the field and they had that matchup again, I thought they wanted to take advantage of it. And they tried to catch him sleeping there. And, heads up play by him that he was there, but he was just there a little bit too early.
So, you show up early to a party, they're going to ask you who invited you, right?
Yeah, who invited you?
Why are you here? We're still setting up. So
we haven't even spiked the punch yet.
Yeah. We didn't go over the list twice to make sure there's only mistakes.
Right.
So first down now.
Actually, they're going to waive that off because he was within 5 yards. So that
wow.
makes sense to me.
So he was welcome to the party early.
He could be as physical as he wants within that 5-yard radius. So good job by him.
So second down now. Tony looks it, throws it over.
They got Davion with a hold there.
And the receiver actually just couldn't come down with it as it was within the grasp. I think that was CJ.
You see, being a defensive back myself, I got mixed emotions about that call. But at the end of the day, you can't get your hands on the guy, and you gotta play the ball, not the man.
Especially when it's congested like that, they're gonna call it because all eyes are on this, spot.
I don't really see that ball as being catchable, but that's just from here, What do I know? I wear a blue shirt now. And it ain't got no numbers on it.
I mean, depends who the receiver is out there. Catchable could be subjective.
Yeah. So Outlaws here in great position here to try to get a touchdown to take the lead here with 6:15 and counting here in the fourth quarter. 7-12 ball game. Spartans over the Outlaws as of this moment.
Should it be first down, though?
It should be first and goal. Yeah, it should be first and goal here. So we'll say first and goal here, Outlaws. Fullback dive, I'm assuming. Nope, lead.
Handoff not effective unless you're able to pull the runner forward.
Good job. Ryan in on the play. Devo in on that play. Reggie.
So, I think you explained to me the linemen are able to pull forward. No, you could push forward. You can't pull forward.
You can't pull, correct.
Okay.
Correct. And I still believe that push forward is up to referee discretion because some refs don't play that. They'll blow the whistle with the quickness once they see that pile moving.
I got you.
And then some refs would let you push a guy from the 50-yard line to the touchdown, not even say a word. So I think that's more of a each official calls it differently sort of situation. Spartans got too many guys outside of the box here. Yeah.
Inside, the ball's on the ground though.
Oh,
I have not heard a whistle yet. I have not heard a whistle. Let's see.
By the Spartans.
Spartans ball.
Spartans ball.
Spartans ball.
That is a tough turnover.
What?
Oh,
you go to the whistle that we
gosh.
never heard, and
Yeah,
you got to imagine there's going to be some confusion as a Spartans player is down on the
Ryan's
ground,
down.
slow to get up.
Looks like Christian was slow to get up.
You're in on every play. You're bound to get banged up one of them.
Then when you're in those short yardage situation, everybody's flying everywhere. Bodies are on top of everybody, and if you're the guy at the bottom of those piles, sometimes you can catch a knee, catch an elbow, catch a face mask, catch a helmet to the side, to the ribs. So a lot can happen at the bottom of that pile as everyone's flying, trying to make a play, and everyone's flying at full speed. So hope those gentlemen that went down are okay as they worked their way off the field on their own will. But big turnover there forced by the Spartans, and unfortunate turn of events there for the Outlaws.
And let me tell you, man, again, I know it's not all the referees, but you got to imagine the Outlaws are furious with the refs as Coach
You see
Polston.
that ball was just sitting on the
And you
8-yard
don't hear a
line,
whistle.
just-
You go to the whistle, and some of the guys were kind of checked out, and I don't want to say walking to the sideline, but didn't have that urgency.
Well, it didn't look like they really crossed the plane either. Like the ball just fell out and just stayed put, and it was short of the goal line.
And this plays before anyone was set, actually. So let's
Yeah.
see.
He was able to get right back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they got to be careful.
Yeah.
Too close to be a safety. So now the Spartans have 99 yards to work, trying to chip away with. The Outlaws have 2 timeouts, I believe.
Right.
And some unfortunate, officiating that could have led to some differences in this ball game. But at the end of the day, it's the X's and O's, not the stripes.
The Outlaw crowd really getting involved now as they can feel that their team needs a big stop here and can possibly force a safety. So crowd going crazy. Outlaws playing bump and run coverage for the first time this game.
Scotty throws it complete
And
to
he found
Draven. So good separation. That's what life's about. Just enough breathing room.
Yeah, that's a great catch by Draven. Good pitch by Scotty.
Jordan Brown's upset with himself as he either let up a big play, somebody let up a big play.
See, and traditionally, that's not the Outlaw strong suit, playing man-to-man, bump and run type coverage. I mean, they can and they're capable, but that's just never been really their go-to, And in that situation, of course, you want to, force the issue, so to speak, maybe send some blitzes, but Spartans are really good at one-on-one coverage. They got a lot of receivers out there that can work one-on-one, and that's kind of playing into their card, so to speak, at that point. 2-by-2 look here.
Scotty got them to jump, unless one of his guys jumped
I
first.
think Burley took off down the sideline before the ball.
And that's unfortunate as they're going to back up farther.
Yeah. But 3:23 here in the fourth quarter here. Spartans football. It'll be 3rd and 8 here for the Spartans, and if they're able to get out of the situation, they may have dodged a bullet there with that big Outlaws turnover.
Man, it comes back to that play where they turn, the
Empty here. They might have a mismatch here with the number 3 receiver on the linebacker. So look for that matchup here on the right side.
there's a receiver.
Empty.
It looks like Draven just
Yeah, look at the
covered
number 3
here.
receiver on the inside there.
Scotty steps into it now, wants to run it himself, and is not going to be
They are ready for that.
there for a first down. So 4th down coming up with a timeout, I believe, called. And now they're moving the sticks. So what is happening?
Oh, they said they got a first down.
So they gave him a first down.
First down.
So my depth perception is either way off or they gifted
we are
them.
at a bit of an angle here.
Yeah, it's a bit of an angle
It's
here.
hard to tell. But they were on the inch-yard line, and that ball is spotted at the 11. So that would be enough for a first down.
Okay,
so
makes sense. I got confused with the penalty and but
a lot of things you get confused about.
I get
when those
confused,
yellow
man.
flags start flying
They
around.
flying around.
2-by-2 look here now again for the Spartans here. Draven uncovered in the slot. Ball is kept by Scotty.
And
he fumbled.
Let's see if the Outlaws are signaling.
He fumbled.
And it is outlaw ball.
Outlaw football.
So what a chain of events after the Spartans pretty much had the Outlaws dead to rights, grinding out the clock, and now the Spartans have 2 minutes and 37 seconds to
try to get a stop.
pump out some magic.
Try to get a stop. That's all you can do.
And they got the ball, and let's see.
I'd be looking. They're going to start off running this football here to get that chain moving. But watch the matchup here again with Davion. Now at the bottom of this corner here, they're going to try to isolate him at some point during this series and try to get something over the top if the run game doesn't gash him. So they might use this guy. Look at the bottom screen. They'll use a front receiver to take away Shroggins and then leave Davion one-on-one.
So a handoff. This looks to be to their fullback. Is this JJ?
I firmly believe that's a setup play. That's just a little run. If they beat you on that run play, that's great. But I think they really want to get back to this matchup here at the bottom. You got your screen here between number 12 and whatever receiver they can put over there.
Yeah, that was JJ Polchin, fullback, getting loose. And with that being said, JR, we've approached the 2-minute warning. There's 2 minutes left in the regular season of the AzCFL 2021 season, man. It's been fun. It's been fascinating.
Yeah.
And, now 2 minutes left, and it's coming down to the wire. And that's what we live for. That's what we sign up for. That's what they play for. It's what we broadcast for.
Yep.
Phoenix Outlaws, Arizona Spartans battling out for the 3rd seed. And playoff presence, playoff positioning, and playoff picture.
Yes. Both these teams, like I told you before, both these teams want to win this football game. Make no mistake about it. They can play the modest game. They played a real nice modest game while we were interviewing them before the game of, this game really doesn't matter and this and that. And, we know better.
Yeah, they homies over there. We good. Yeah, we're going to be at the barbecue later. No, they're like, we know what kill them. Yeah, all right?
Exactly.
Take their head off.
Yes. We know that these teams are way too competitive and talented to come out here and lay a dud just because of playoffs are next week.
And I don't believe in tanking, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, bro, you play.
Right. Ooh, last time they were in this formation, they ran a bit of a screen play. Let's see what they do here.
Aguilera now backpedaling, throws it, one-on-one coverage, fade, and let's see if he came down with it. Incomplete.
That's good coverage.
Nice ball, too. Good placement.
Yeah, it was a good ball. Real good ball. So that intended for Jared Moore. He just wasn't able to, corral that one in. In on the coverage was Shroggins and Dadrick. So great job there by them.
Miranda and Scroggins.
Yeah.
1:48 left in this matchup. And like you said, I think the Lions are taking care of the Tide. Want to find out if there was a 5 o'clock. Oh, like you said, the Bucks and Rebels. They finished. Or Bucks and Silverbacks. That game is complete.
That game is done with the Bucks winning.
Lions and Tide, I think if that game's not over, it's the last. This may be the last one to wrap up as the flag is thrown.
With defensive ends here for the Spartans, I want to be careful. I know that play was blown dead, but one of the defensive ends got caught there swimming inside. Want to be careful and not give up anything to the outside. There's nothing outside of him here to the short side of the field, so want to be careful there. Empty look here again for the Outlaws as Tony looks left and throws left.
Nobody there. As
there's a minute 40.
The Outlaw faithful, man, they're not shy to let the let the players know what their disdain or their upset.
Like I said, a team with a rich history brings rich expectations.
And a rich fan base.
Yeah, the fan base over here.
I've been watching you guys for 27 years.
And this is the worst game I've seen.
This may be the year I cancel my season
tickets, right? A lot of people out here have watched the Outlaws, year in and year out, ups and downs, and stuck it through. So, with the kind of loyalty and fan support that they've had over the years, man, you're gonna get a couple hecklers from here and there too.
Shouts to John Polchin, owner. He said, I was commenting about their uniforms. They have really cool drip, and he was saying, when we walk out, you don't guess what team it is.
You know exactly.
And I said, "Oh, okay, coach. Tell him. Let him know." So
you know exactly who's walking out on the field.
I had to do air quotes because he was killing me. He said, "I said last week when we were talking about Jay might get some time.
Right.
And he said, I told you he may get some time. So don't quote me on, my personnel change anymore. I was like, okay, coach, you got it. But today we saw both quarterbacks obviously go. As Aguilera is now throwing it. Intended receiver to Svelbar. Double covered.
There goes Davion waving that finger saying, not over here today. I love it. They've tried that kid. I would say that's the 8th or 9th time this game. And it is not going in their favor.
Svelbar, man,
As
double
now
his
they'll
size.
have a turnover on downs after that big stop by the secondary from the Spartans. So great job there by the Spartans secondary. Usually, that's got to be a good sign for them.
Usually I was going to say 4th and game, but, with how close the Spartans are on their back heels and then the turnover woes, I don't want to rule this game out any bit. But, yes,
they can
gutsy
still get
call.
The ball back here, I think, with a few seconds left. I think they have 1, maybe 2 timeouts here left. So they may be able to get the ball back. We'll see based off the Spartans play calling exactly what the scenario is on the field.
Gutsy call, though. You have a almost 6'6" guy versus I don't even want to quote his height. I don't know his height, but not a 6'6" guy. And for him to wave his finger at the end of the play to say, not today or no, sir, that's the confidence we live for as well.
Spartans, though, not happy. A little upset on the sideline here.
As handoff.
And rightfully so. I think he believes that some of his guys are being held and there's been some contact out there. And, his guys haven't gotten the benefit of the doubt out there. But, it's football. It happens. Sometimes the receivers win the battle. Sometimes the corners win the battle. Just got to continue moving on and keep playing ball.
There's Coach Aaron, Coach Dietrich, and Coach Logan, part of the coaching staff. And then I believe they have Coach Triple G, right?
Yeah, they got Coach G. Gordon over there as well. We got a timeout here from the Outlaws with a minute and 29 seconds here in the 4th quarter. They try to preserve the clock to hopefully get the ball back with another chance at the end zone.
So, if I'm not mistaken, this 7 and 12 points came all in the first half, right?
All in the first half.
The second half, man, it's usually the opposite, right?
Yeah.
First half is slow. Second half turns up.
Yeah.
Now they just say, hey, may I have this dance for 2 quarters? And they put the scoreboard in Tupperware.
Yeah. This game not out of reach. The Spartans are forced to punt. They got Jared Moore back there that does returns. And he's been pretty solid all night. So
halfway to the sticks. Hand off to Key. As, not that effective.
Brought down immediately.
As how many timeouts I believe the Outlaws have?
I believe that might be their last one. They should be down to 0 now. So that would be the Outlaws' last time out here with a minute 20 left. So if they get a stop here on 3rd down, they can possibly get the ball back here with roughly about 50 seconds left, 45 to 50 seconds in the ball game. So there's still a lot of time for that outlaw magic we spoke of.
There's no time clock on the magic.
Right? There's no time clock on it. As long as there's time on the clock, there's still room for magic. Right?
I wonder why the Magic's never brought out in the first quarter. That's, that would be my hope.
Because then it wouldn't be magic. It'd just be expected at that point.
Oh, that's true. It'd be preparation.
Yeah, That's tough. I'll make sure they know you think that about them, but they don't prepare for their games.
No, whoa.
Scotty with the keeper to the outside.
As Scotty may have the first down and may have the game.
That's the ball game.
As he can seal the deal by just getting down. He doesn't need, and there he heard me and finally gets down.
That is the ball game.
As that may be first and game, as the Spartans may be running into the playoffs at 7-3.
Yeah, it looks like that will be the ball game, and and that's the thing about having a playmaker or a game changer with the ball in his hands all the time. So all game long, he doesn't really look pretty, right? He doesn't make the most impressive plays all game long. A play here, play there, but when the time matters in crunch time, you want to put the game away. You've always got the ball in one of your most skilled players' hands, and Scotty there coming up with a very big play to seal this game for the Spartans.
So you got to expect victory formation, and I'm excited to see what bag of potato chips Scotty ends up on this week, as is well earned. As being
He
from the
did
East
take some
Coast,
shots.
Ruffles guys.
Yeah, we're Ruffles guys for sure. And the cookies are Nabisco.
Oh, that's what it is.
But Scotty took some hits this game, and I hope that doesn't fear into his ability to play next week or how his body feels. But good job by the Spartans coming out here and getting a win tonight.
And with that being said, man, we're 14 seconds and counting to the rest of this game as we've ended the regular season of the AzCFL 2021 season as we're gunning into the playoffs. As I said, JR, thank you for joining me throughout this regular season. It's been a blast, and I'm super excited for the postseason as both these teams will see them as they're both, solidified. One continuing their confidence as one now going to the drawing board to figure out what went wrong this game and how to avoid it happening again next week.
Yeah, definitely. Both these teams are, win or lose, both these teams understand that after today it doesn't matter. As of right now, the Spartans are, 7-3 on the season. But come tomorrow, they are 0-0 on the season. So It doesn't matter to anybody. You just got to show up and you got to play next week. And, both of these teams will be ready for the playoffs. Both of these teams will be ready to get the job done. And I'm excited. I can't wait to see all the matchups, the playing games, and all the other games of the playoffs.
And as for the ceremonial handshake at midfield, I want to thank everybody that was part of today's full slate of football. Congrats again to the Hawks, Reapers, Rebels, Owls, Bucks, Headhunters, Lions, and as you just saw, the Spartans ending tonight's matchup with a W. As for AzCFL, Game of the Week, regular season, J.R. Warner, Jesse Burke, we're signing off for the regular season and heading into the postseason with excitement, the playoff picture wrapping up, and full slate of football next week.
Can't wait, man. Let's get to it. Let's just fast forward it. Just cut the stream. Fast forward to next week. Let's get busy.
Boom, we back. Yeah. So for AzCFL Game of the Week, J.R. Warner, Jesse Burke, Cactus Media X, we're signing off. Thank you.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without Cactus Media X or Arizona Cactus Football League's consent is prohibited.